Hey, Sassy fam, welcome to your Thursday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous, and once more, happy holidays to you all. Just want to take a moment briefly to say thank you. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my sassy scorpion heart to help make this channel, this community, what it is. Literally could not do it without you. Thank you. All right, you guys, obviously, this is coming out a couple days after Christmas. I'm recording this actually a couple days prior to, so I can spend the rest of the week off with family members and friends the way it should be. Yeah, sometimes we have to work a little harder to achieve that, but it's worth it. That feeling of magic this time of year, it's hard to put your finger on it, right? But you know, it's beautiful. There's beautiful energy going on between what it is that you have managed to give others and what is being given back to you. And this is when we really get to tap into it. So no matter what you celebrate, honor, or recognize, with who or why or when, may the spirit be with you. It's such a good feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. It can't be beat, some would say. You know? All right, you guys, what are we doing? Celtic cross. Yes, we're doing the Celtic cross today. We'll put down the baseline, advice, oracles, charms too. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you on this board today that I personally did not see or call out, then you feel free to reverse those energies as you see fit. These are, after all, general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate, which I know is frustrating, but it's also normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. I will see you for the Sunday check-in, but in the meantime, you guys, have a beautiful rest of your week. Once more, thank you all so much. It's just, you know, I'm part of that. I'm feeling the magic too. And this is a great time of year to reflect how far we have come and what it is we're about to enter in. And I don't know. Hopefully I'm expressing that well to you because I feel it and I hope that you do too, I suppose is my point. All right, you guys, many blessings to you and yours. I will see you at your sign. Take care. Be well. Leo, you're up first. Let's take a look at Leo, please. Show me that Leo collective. Show me that Leo collective. Show me Leo, please. What's going on? Seven of Wands. Crossing, Six of Cups. Okay. Crowning. Well, you made that very clear very quickly. I understand. Ten of Cups is crowning. Past, Knight of Cups. Exiting, Four of Cups. Okay, Five of Wands before in future. Okay. It's interesting. Perhaps that's an improvement. We'll see. Ace of Cups is in your strengths. Beautiful. Your environment, Ace of Swords. Hopes and fears, the Hierophant. Outcome, the Two of Cups. Okay. I don't quite know who you're at odds with, but you do. They've already dumped to your mind. It's going to be that case, guys, where it's going to get a little harder before it gets better. Okay? And that does happen. You know, when we have connections we care about, they're not always straightforward or easy. But if you really want to work through something with somebody, you can and you will. And it takes two. And there are two people here. At 7-1, straight away you showed me defensiveness, boundaries, or leave me alone energy towards the Six of Cups that's crossing. So this is someone we're currently at odds with, but we go way back with them, Six of Cups, okay? So whether or not you believe in soul bonds, that's cool, okay? This is nostalgia. We've known this person a long time. We have many a memory, sweet memory, and there's a kind of easy undercurrent, right? Currently not so easy, once more I'm pointing out, but used to be. Currently easy, where you could just kind of tap into each other's emotions and you kind of understood each other without having to communicate too much. We've had many a memory with this person, shared memories, the swapping of cups, you know, the exchange, the good stuff, right? Shared meals, memories, etc. We're currently at odds with this person. I see what looks like a temporary blockade up between you and them. Okay, and you're like, that's fine because I have a Ten of Cups. You're saying right now I need to focus on family and friends. Right, so this person, it looks like, has been excluded, at least temporarily. It doesn't look like a full-time block to me. Temporarily suspended from your Ten of Cups activity. Okay, so the Ten of Cups is important to you. It crowns you. Harmonizing with the people who are most important in your life. In other words, when you look out upon the world, you are glad to know that these people are in your life because they love and support you and care about you in some way. So we generally refer to that as family, friends. You're saying, that's what's important to me right now, not this. We're going to go ahead and temporarily block this. I can't figure this out. I can't deal with this person right now, but I have this going for me. And you know what? That's what matters. Okay. Knight of Cups is in the past. That tells me whatever you currently have your blockade up towards, you used to show a certain level of emotionality, vulnerability, possibly romanticism towards it. So again, your Ten of Cups is over here. This is what I'm currently engaging with. This is my priority at the highest level. Okay. You're like, how I felt romantically or otherwise about this other situation, well, that's currently in the past. And it's, like I said, it's on a temporary hold, it seems. Okay. I don't quite know what they did to upset you, but you might tell me. Four of Cups, though, I'm happy to report is exiting. Perhaps you needed some sort of space from this, and they needed some sort of space from you, because the upsetness, the initial I'm upset, I'm angry, or I'm depressed, that's exiting, so that's good. That's the good news. Okay? Perhaps you two, at some point, stopped being on the same page. But that's exiting. What's before you, however, in the future is the Five of Wands. Well, there's some frustration there. So like I said, there's a temporary blockade up between you and your soul bond here, or your person of the past, whom we seems to have some sort of a softer attachment to. Once more, the past position doesn't mean it's over. That just means you've had experience with it before. You can again. So that tells me whatever it is you currently have to guard up with, you were softer with it. It wasn't quite so familiar to you as in family. Okay. You're like, not right now. I can't talk to you right now. I can't deal with you right now. And I don't know how exaggerated or not that is. That could have been yesterday. It could be months. I don't know. It's up to you. The point is, like I said, it was temporary. We still have some stuff to hash out between ourselves and this person. So, like I said, it's going to get a little harder before it gets better. The point is, it looks like the worst of it's over. The Four of Cups is going to hit harder and longer than the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands suggests immediate engagement, battle of wills. Can it get argumentative? Yes. Okay. Can it get a little more frustrating? Yes. But it's better than creating emotional distance. Okay. And it's better than being lost to the sadness of the cups, where there is no real working resolution. Excuse me, real working resolution. Okay, so there is going to be a bit of a tiff. So like I said, that was a temporary blockade. All right, so hopefully what I'm seeing here is you two hashing out your differences soon. We'll get some advice right there at that juncture. You can handle it, though, because the Ace of Cups is in your strengths, which is a beautiful strength to have. That's lovely. I wish more people showed me that. The fullness of your own particular heart is such as that you are very familiar with it. You love to a very deep capacity. And if you wanted to, you could show more love in any particular or given situation. The thing is, I don't have to tell the Leo that. You already know. There's something that is Ace of Cups is either a strength for you, it isn't. You either have very deep feeling that you know you could help replenish someone else with their feelings, okay, and then you know how to love yourself. That's either a skill for you or it's not. You have plenty of love in you and plenty of love to give. And I think you want to love this situation. And, well, like I said, you have that temporary block up. But the fact that you are still trying to Five of Wands with this tells me you're not done with it. There's still more to say. But it might be in that process, guys, of, excuse me, sometimes we butt heads in order to figure each other out better. And that's all I'm saying here for you today. I'm not advocating fighting, of course not. I'm just saying real respect's real. And if you have a real connection, you're eventually going to have strain in it. You're eventually going to have stress in it. And people who respect each other, generally speaking, address their differences. They don't ignore them. That's passive, and that's going to inherently destroy a connection. When you don't address anything that's real or critical, that will always rot a connection faster than any argument ever could. So I'd rather two people kind of hash it out, resolve their differences. You show a little love at this at the end of the day, assuming you're satisfied with what you've experienced and the communication was accurate. I'd rather you do that than just, you know, be upset with each other without any real resolve or resolution. Okay. Ace of Swords is in the environment. You have a strong mind, too. That's beautiful. You're intelligent. You're smart. You're a smart Leo. You prize the truth. And I'm saying that Five of Wands, so I'm not terribly surprised. Anyone who prizes the truth but still has a big heart knows that tension is inevitable. Okay, this is where we get to resolve differences. Well, I didn't know that about you. Well, I didn't know you experienced it that way. Okay, we have to have those moments. We're human beings. It's going to happen. Particularly more so with the people we care about. Otherwise, we wouldn't care about them. If you don't care about someone, you don't care enough about them to have an argument with them, to never mind resolve differences with them. You know, it's like, well, you Carol at work or whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I just, somewhere between your heart and your mind, this looks like an interaction you knew was inevitable, but it also, from your point of view, means progress. I actually completely agree with you. You are seeing progress here despite some frustration. Okay. It's progress. It is progress. All right. The hopes and fears, the Hierophant hopes and fears, called that because one tends to reflect the other. Am I standing up for myself? You know, is my agenda being satisfied? Is what I believe in being satisfied, or am I giving in? It's going to be a little bit of both. When you listen to someone else, they also have a Hierophant. They also have a sense of higher self. They also have a sense of agenda and will, and this is what I stand up for. So you two might have clashed over something that was important to the both of you. And it kind of exercises both of your levels of commitments to what you believe in and what you believe in towards each other. And that's where you come to new terms. Okay? While still respecting yourself and your boundaries and what it is you believe in, you can also better incorporate what they're experiencing too. So, you know, there's that sense of, I don't want to be wrong, but I know part of me is right. That's correct. Yes. You can be both right and wrong in different ways at the same time simultaneously, and so can they. Okay. The outcome is the Two of Cups. You two are going to be fine. You got to hash it out, babe. That's it. Sometimes you just got to hash it out. And again, I'm not advocating violence. I mean, again, those points of view that are not easy, they're rough, and it's likely what caused that temporary blockade to go up in the first place. You wanted to get back to it. They did too. You two are getting back to it. Two of Cups is achieved in the outcome. So that's the harmonization there of those two cups. You see, you have love for this. You have a strong mind. I think you knew. I know you knew. The way I'm looking at, you're not stupid. You knew. You knew that Five of Wands was coming. Why do you think you put that block up? It's like, I can't deal with this right now, because you knew the Five of Wands was coming. Okay? And you wanted to be able to give it your full attention. And it came across strongly as now is not the time, but eventually it will be. And you were right. But yeah, no, your Hierophant and the hopes and fears, I think, was very, very reflective of this situation. Because there's what you believe in and stand up for, and there's what they believe and stand up for too. And somewhere in between the two, your Hierophants are learning to be more flexible with belief systems, and this is what I stand up for and why, so on and so forth. Okay. But I like that the Two of Cups is in the outcome. I think it's very appropriate. So that's, again, it's not a full get away from me, I'm ending this. No. I had a very strong feeling this was something you were going to get back to. You knew it. And the both of you knew you'd have your little sparring moment. Okay. Before we could, to use the common expression, kiss and make up again. So that's all I'm saying. All right, let's get some advice, please. Let's do one more. Sorry, I don't know. Sometimes I have images come to mind and I just, okay, where's that going? That's weird. I'm sorry. So let me just tell you what I saw. I went down that tunnel really fast. Wow. Okay. Patio setting, outdoor social setting. Have you ever been to one of those hangout spots that's largely outside as opposed to inside, right? So a lot of patio, wood decks, string lights. It was nighttime. It was nighttime. You could see the twinkling lights, rough tables, very informal. Wood decks, gravel rocks. It was definitely being queued up for a social setting. It was empty, but it starts out empty, but then it starts to fill with people. So I guess some of you have some hangout time, I guess, around this time. Where was that? It's going to be one of those places that largely serves alcohol, but they're going to do some like grill items too. But the emphasis is outdoor socialization, maybe some band music in the background. But the lights, the string lights, were very outstanding against a black background, so that was nighttime. Anyway, FYI for some of you. I have no idea where that came from. God, it was very absorbing, though. 10 of Wands, the Stars, the Four of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, yeah. There's more that sense of heaviness and begrudging and frustration, and I'm not done with this. I know you're not done with it. You held on to it for a reason. Inherently, you still desire this and hope to connect with it and work through it. You know, it's just hard. It's hard for you to admit that, and it was hard to find the route to keep putting work into this star, to keep navigating for it and standing up for it. I know, it still means a lot to you with the star. The star is always going to outstrip the Four of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. It just was hard. That, you know, the star, if we really want it, is going to be difficult. It's not as easy as, say, the sun, where you get to walk outside your front door and experience the warmth. The star takes work. So you have to really hope for it and desire for it, and to a lesser extent, it represents healing for that reason, because if we really want to achieve it, we have to work harder in ourselves, and then possibly, as I'm sitting here, with someone else. So we, you know, it was hard to carry this, but you didn't let it go either. Like I said, Leo, I'm looking at you pretty smart. You knew you were going to have that moment in time where it was, okay, now I have the space to hash this out. And for some of you, that space, by the way, is going to represent Aquarius season. Dun, dun, dun. Perhaps at that patio I just described with the blinking, not blinking, there was solid, lots of string lights. So overhead, all overhead. Yeah, wow. Tower, Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Oh, this disrupted you both, did it? It made you both uncomfortable? Okay. Teaching a little bit more about the both of you. Yeah, I have that feeling here with the Hierophant, very telling in the hopes and fears, that this, whatever this is, you had very strong points of view and so do they. And it kind of changed your two's dynamic, and more importantly, the both of you, how you perceive yourselves. Well, I'm this way and I'm that way. This is what I always believe and this is what I will always believe in. And this is how I'm right and this is how I'm right and this is how you're wrong and this is how you're wrong. And it kind of, the tower happened to the both of you. I got two people here who are affected, and it in many ways changed how you both perceive yourselves. Like I said, it requires more flexibility. Somebody blew the lid off someone and the other person received it too. And it's like, yeah, well, let me tell you something about you. Okay, that's the whole thing. With these stronger connections, it really... We're never really complete as people until we connect with others, particularly in a way that's more significant. Okay, otherwise we have no reason to. We have no motivation. And here we had a lot of motivation to learn something new about ourselves. And indeed, be influenced. At the end of the day, though, we're still harmonizing with this person. Okay, so it didn't just happen to them. It didn't just happen to you. It happened to the both of you. You've both had to learn to be flexible, and you both held on to this for a reason. That means you both felt some way that you're going to reconnect to it and dig a little deeper, okay? Yeah, you were both changed by it. It wasn't just you, it wasn't just them, it was the both of you. I know it's important to you, otherwise you wouldn't bother. Okay, but you both needed apparently some flexing and shaping. Pathway, number 35. Well, why were they put on my path? Why, oh why? Some of you, the wealthy man, the main man, the guy, something like this. I don't know. Well, if that's you, congratulations, though. A good pathway you've been on. Number 13, 35, and there's the message. Someone will be sending out that message shortly, okay? Shortly, like I said, Aquarius season, and a little bit prior to that. Tarot time is different for everybody. 35, 13, and 7, but whomever is identified as the man of status, wealth, reputation, okay? Even if we're not wealthy, it still represents reputation, a way of formal presentation. They prompt the message, okay? It's on that person's pathway. All right. Oh. Someone here is very resourceful, or perhaps you both are. Number 34. Hang in there, elf. You can do it. It's like, I don't know about being here. He's a little, I don't know if he's going to make it. He might fall. I was like, oh, let's throw down some decor, if you will. Not too much, nothing too crazy. All right, new moon in Cancer, relax. Good. Some of you had some very strong water in your chart, could be connecting, but Cancer and then as well as Pisces. New moon in Cancer, relax around this. Okay, you got it. Full moon in Pisces, forgive. Key word there being forgive. So relax and be open to forgiveness. It looks like you both need a little bit of change, learn more about yourselves, each other, and incorporate more stronger senses of flexibility. And don't just assume you know everything about yourself. This person shaped you in some way and influenced you, and the reverse is also true. Okay. You know, one of my favorite comedians, Ron White, he has a skit that it's over decades old, a bit. It's over decades old, and I still remember it to this day, because you can get into one of those ornery arguments, right? Where it's like, oh yeah? Well, let me tell you something about you that you don't know. I strongly recommend that bit. It is decades old, but it still cracks me up to this day, because that's what this is with your soul bond here. You're too hashing, and let me tell you something about you, and we needed that. We needed that. And you being as smart and open from the heart as I believe you are, I think you see that. And they needed it too. Okay. Anyway, the letter M, we have the medallion once more of Pisces, but specifically the seahorse here, a very strong sense of emotions that are being held close. And then, again, the Pisces medallion, the actual medallion. Yeah. So some of y'all might have some very strong Pisces in your chart. Could be connected to, influencing, and then Pisces season is right after Aquarius. Okay, and then your medallion, Leo. Okay. All right, Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Saggy, please? Show me Sagittarius. Show me Sagittarius, please. Seven of Cups, crossing strength, crowning the Tower. I see. Queen of Pentacles in the past, keep back up. Knight of Wands exiting. Before you, Ace of Wands, strengths, Seven of Wands. Yeah, seriously, your cards are just trying to... The Empress is in your environment. Well done. Four of Pentacles, hopes and fears. And your outcome is Two of Swords. I know it doesn't seem like the most impressive of things, but that's all right. Seven of Cups, strength. Trying to be open, but really trying to be open. Strength. You're saying, I need strength to be open to something emotionally. Yeah, because there's this idea that it's impacting you and you want to minimize its impact. The Tower is crowning. So something recently became, I don't quite know what that is. I just don't. No, that's not long care. That is 1,000% not long care. It's an annoyance, though, whatever it is. I can hear it. Hopefully you can't. Anyway, you are trying to remain open, and it's taking you strength of will to do so. Part of you is so tempted to shut this down because the Tower's crowning, and you're like, I don't think I have time for this, and I don't know that I want to be influenced by this kind of strong emotional change. So something here is challenging you emotionally. So strength crossing. I don't know if I want to have strength to be open to this influence, or should I use strength to shut it down? You're kind of teetering back and forth between the two, because there's an admission in you with the Tower crowning that whatever it is that has recently impacted you or influenced you could be kind of a big deal. But from your point of view, it's like, I don't think I have room in my life for this to be a big deal right now. So I don't know what it is that came through, but it's interesting to see that you feel that you're in the position to allow it to influence you or to shut it down. It's interesting. So this is where I would like to point out to you the Towers happen for a reason, okay? They're very rarely convenient. They happen when they happen. Sometimes it's external, circumstantial, another person. Sometimes it's internal, something occurred to you. And I feel like something here has occurred to you at the emotional level, and it's trying to influence you, and you're like, I don't know if I have time for that. I would encourage you gently to try to give it some space, whatever it is, because it's there for a reason. There's some strong insight that might do you good, okay? That doesn't mean it's easy, of course not. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes those towers are large, sometimes they're very small. But maybe give it some space to express itself. You might learn something very interesting about you. Something that's overdue. Perhaps it corrects a feeling in you that's positive. But we don't see that at first. At first we see it as kind of a threat. So if you're in that amazing position to either reject or accept what the universe is trying to inform you of, I would encourage you to be a little open towards it. You're already there in that position anyway. Might as well make use of the opportunity. You can learn something new about yourself. Queen of Pentacles in your past experience. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means it's what you experienced in the past and most likely in present day. You like to be grounded. You like to be practical. You like your comfort zone. So you're not big on disruption. You're not a big fan of that. That's you're kind of operating as, I know what I know, and that's my jam. That's my comfort zone. I'm not too big on learning about things, last minute influence. I just, so just know that if that's your home base, your sense of groundedness, practicality, resourcefulness, responsibility, then by all means you should feel secure enough to do your own kind of emotional exploration. Because like I said, that influence could be of good use to you. So I hope you allow that to come through. But in the meantime, congratulations on your base. That's a wonderful thing to have. Knight of Wands is on the exit. There's this sense of spontaneity, wild, carefree, that you say it's exiting from your life. That's not your jam anymore, which is really surprising for you as Sag. But you're saying your kind of wild, crazy days are over. You don't beat to that particular drum anymore. You're not so spontaneous like you used to be. It's not a challenge. Don't take it as one. I read what's here, not what isn't. There's a reason why. I mean, perhaps that's your energy. Like I said, it's just not so inhibited, or what am I trying to say? Sorry, it's just so darn distracting. Anyway, you just don't go running out your front door like you used to. I see that. I can see that you're a little more grounded these days. You're a little bit more of, this is what I have going for me, and I like it. So you're kind of wild, passionate days. You're saying that's fine. I use my energy in a more grounded, predictable way these days, and I don't blame you for that. But I just want you to know you're going to have a little flare up here in the future. I don't think you're aware of it yet because, it's future oriented. It's Ace of Wands. You're going to have a little flare up in your energy. Something's going to turn you on pretty soon. And I don't know that's necessarily sexual. I mean that in the general sense of turning you on. It catches your interest. It says, hello, what's this? It's some sort of signal, honey. Some sort of signal. Hey, pay attention. And it's going to captivate you. Interest-wise, curiosity, right? Creativity. Again, all those things associated with fire. But I do know it's going to pick up your pulse. So I know you think your wild, crazy days are behind you, and perhaps they are, but I'm just saying maybe allow for a little bit more influence. I think that Ace of Wands and how successfully you receive that or reject it is going to come down to how much you're allowing yourself to be influenced by that tower. And again, that tower miraculously is at your disposal, apparently. I don't see that too often. And by that I mean it's your choice if you choose to pursue this insight about yourself. You might be surprised what you discover, particularly in respect to your feelings. How do I really feel about this? Do I have time for that? Strength is crossing, because it's going to take me strength to look at that. What does that tarot lady say? I can use strength to push it away. I could do that too. It's not convenient. So that's very much an internal tower, my friend. It's literally at your crown, but it involves your emotions. So your discovery of this is going to largely determine how you interact with that Ace of Wands. I wish I knew what that was. I'm very curious. I might be super nosy and clarify that specifically. I'd love to know what's in the Ace of Wands for you, but I suppose you'll know soon enough. That's your immediate future. All right, your strength, 7 Wands. You're like, I can block as the day is long. Thank you. Standards, boundaries. Now, I always have to define that with 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is not full blocking, but it can be. More often than not, it represents boundaries, standards. This is what's up with me. It's like a disciplined form of exercise. I know how to practice restraint, this kind of thing, especially since you showed me the Knight of Wands for years on the exit. I believe you. Restraint is the Sag I'm looking at. That's your middle name. Sagittarius, restraint, whatever your last name is. You're saying that's the strength, honey. I can uphold that all day long. No problem. No problem. I can block, I can set standards, I don't have to interfere, I don't have to participate, I can just be me, thank you very much. Everything I do is a choice, discipline, I can act on this, or I cannot, okay? It's a good skill to have, it really is. The Empress is in your environment, congratulations, beautiful. A lot of folks would say that's someone else, and I would lean in that direction too. Not to discredit anyone who's in your household, I'm just saying it's you. I just know it's you. You're the Empress here. I just know it's you. It's not someone else. It's you. You're the Empress here. You're highly productive. I can see that. That's what happens with years of discipline. But productive discipline. You make things happen. Okay? The Empress isn't just about being sexy and being maternal. I know it's a weird combination of those two. Somehow in tarot, that's how it got filtered down. But no, at the end of it, the height of it, the essence of it is productivity, the life force, the life bringer. Okay? That's what the Empress is really heavily assigned with. Production of all things. Okay? So you have a healthy, thriving household. It's beautiful. And that's largely thanks to you. Okay? So I can see that that Queen of Pentacles has done very well for you. And I like how you say, oh, my fun time, sexy energy, those days are behind me. But boom. I'm very curious about that. I'm not saying it's a test, but I am saying you have skills that suggest you can either block this and have nothing to do with it or welcome it into your life. So I'd love to know what that is. Four of Pentacles is in your hopes and fears. Given what I've seen, yeah. Do I know when to make the right call? I mean, again, that's a big thing for you. Do I know when to refrain? Do I know when to give? And if so, in what amount? So hopes and fears is a guarantee of nothing. It is simply a reflection of hopes and fears. It's something that you not struggle with, but you seem to be very fluent in. This idea of what to give, when, under what circumstance and situation, because that's a huge part of who you are. Do I know what's worth giving my time, energy, and attention to? And you ask yourself that daily in whatever it is that you do. So I'm not surprised to see a Four of Pentacles for you in the hopes and fears. Should I refrain? And if I give, what should I give? I want to give everything away. Yeah. You want to know, especially when situations like this come up, and they will. All Ace of Wands eventually happen to us all. Should I give something to that? Should I refrain? And is withholding the right thing? Okay. The outcome is the Two of Swords. You honestly say you don't know. You really don't know. It's almost like a conundrum for you. As someone who practices these skills as regularly as you do, you're saying, I genuinely do not know what to give this. Okay. All right. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please, for Sagittarius. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Or won't you be my neighbor? Righty brew. Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Yeah. King of Cups. Something was offered to you, darling. It looks like it was very well intended. You're almost being shy with it. The Ace of Pentacles about it provokes your heart space very strongly. You might have some very strong water in your chart despite all that. You know, despite your downplay on the fire, which is not an accusation, it is what it is. You have such a strong appreciation for realities and practicalities. You're a provider. I see that. I know. I get it. You know, honey, I have almost no earth in my chart. And I have that same sensibility. I get it. And the thing is that you still have strong fire in you too. And something here provokes fire as well as your heart space at the same time. And it's Ace of Pentacles. So now we got a couple of aces. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And you're like, I don't know what to make of this. Why? You're the Empress. You should know a good deal when you see one. Three of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. You don't know if this will help your future endeavors. You don't know if it's going to stabilize in your life. You don't know if it's going to stick around for the long term. You don't know if it's going to add to stability or take away from it. Is it going to show up? You're saying whatever this is may not show up consistently. You seem to be familiar with it. Three of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. You said from your point of view, you've seen this thing sidestep or does not represent stability. So you're familiar with it. So on many respects, it flatters you. It does interest you. It engages your feelings. It's quite strong on the feeling level, how you initially react to this ace. But then when you actually pull back the lens and you look at it from your realistic, grounded point of view, you're saying this thing has a history of not being stable. This thing has a history of not showing up consistently. You're like, I've seen it, I've observed it. That's a very strong skill. So that's why you're showing me Two of Swords in the outcome. Makes so much sense now. Whatever this is, personally speaks to your feeling very strongly. But you're like, being fired up for this, maybe even loving this, is not the same thing compared to observable reality. You're like, how I feel about this doesn't really matter if what I'm looking at can't show up consistently. Okay, so I think that's fair. So here we have the strong provocation of feeling. Oops. Right there. And it flatters you and it makes you feel good. But you're saying, I have a long view history of this and I've seen it for myself. It doesn't always show up or stay. And you're like, I am grounded, I'm practical. This thing has a tendency to sidestep. Or be inconsistent in its presentation or its thoughts or its delivery. You're saying you've seen this from afar, or that you've had a lot of experience viewing this from afar. Okay, so I think that's fair. Okay, so this is where, again, once more, tarot doesn't dictate action. You do. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. You get to choose your level of participation in this. So you're at that, you're going to hit that critical junction between your feeling and how you're connecting to it that way. Oh, no wonder you're just like, can I just shut it down? I really don't want the influence. I really don't want to think about it. Can I just, no wonder you're showing me that. Should I be open to this influence or shut it down? What do I think about it? What should I give to it and why? You're the Empress, okay? Whatever it is you decide at the end of the day, what to give this or not to give this, the attention or non-attention. Some communication action versus nothing, that's at your disposal. Apparently you have enough exposure to this to feel very flattered by it, but also see that you can't take it seriously. You have a history with it. You've seen it from a long-term point of view. It doesn't show up consistently. And for an Empress and a Queen of Pentacles, that's kind of a big deal. Okay, especially if you're saying, I'm not subject to just being swept off my feet anymore. Thank you, those days are over. Okay. Well, I really don't know. You're saying it's so hard to work with this. It's too hard, or you have a tendency to overgive to this and you know it. Okay. All right, like I said, dealer's choice, honey. It's dealer's choice. You got to trust that you will make the right decision for you. Four of Pentacles and your hopes and fears makes so much more sense. Your Two of Swords and the outcome makes so much more sense. You have to trust yourself. And while you're feeling for this, I get it. It's very strong. Sometimes you just... reality has to count for something, right? Regardless of how we feel about something or somebody. Reality has to count. You're right. History speaks for itself. If this thing fails to show up and you have a tendency to overgive to it, you're trying to create stabilization in something for two people. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, yeah, and that's through long-term observation of this. You have data. Can't say you don't. Why do you contemplate it at all? Because it provokes a lot of feeling in you. That's why. Number 32, under the moon. By some of you, the next crescent moon. The unknown. Clarity, messages, insight. There's the influence. Unknown. Community. Again, that sense of stability. You're well thought of, networked, resource, grounded, successful, I would say. You assume a lot of responsibility. Okay, why people are talking about you? Yeah, well, if you're actively involved in the construction of your reality, it stands to reason you're going to be talked about, but there's conversations about you don't know about. Okay. You're being spoken of by certain circles. Okay, I usually don't go there, but wealthy men. There's the offer. Some of you are the wealthy men or just wealthy because you work hard. I know you're deeply tied to what it is that you do. I completely respect you for that. 33, concern. I know you don't quite know what to make of what's going to happen over here with the communication, that influence of the aces and things like that. Just please know you need to trust yourself. You work so very hard. You're so well thought of. You're spoken of in your presence and outside of your presence. Okay. You get to choose for yourself. If you're saying what I feel for it's strong, But guess what? That doesn't mean nothing because it was never stable to begin with, and that's why I exited from that participation. And there you go. You have your answer. All right. For others of you, you will listen to this long enough to understand if it's good for you, if it's right for you. You might want the influence. It really is at your discretion, guys. I can't keep pushing the same subject. I'm sorry. You get to choose. Life is choose your own adventure books, you know. You're going to have to make choices before I can see more. Full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. You don't seem to have a problem with that. You don't allow yourself to be led by passion anymore, so that seems to be a non-issue. But there might be some residual heat in there somewhere. Let's put it that way. Okay. Last quarter moon in Virgo, attend to the details, of course. And then last quarter moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. Yes, I can see you have accomplished a great deal. Okay? And of course, your name will be in other people's mouths. Of course. So you're taking your decision-making very seriously. J, S, and the dolphin. A sense of playfulness. There's that influence here. There's that influence here. Sense of playfulness. Look at me. It's fun. It's cute. It's flattering. It swims easily in the ocean. It's playful. It's very sweet. But does it play in the same area? Consistently. Does it show up in the same space? So on and so forth. Shaggy, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please, for that Aries collective? Show me Aries, please. Show me Aries. What's going on, please, for Aries? The Chariot crossing. Okay, Judgment. Crowning, the Knight of Swords. Past, 4 of Swords. Exiting, 5 of Wands. That's good. Before you, 10 of Wands. Not so good. Okay. Okay. This might be one of those times where I tell you to slow down. Strengths, the 3 of Cups. Environment, Page of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles, hopes and fears. And the 3 of Pentacles is in the outcome. So the Chariot, and what's crowning you straight away is movement. Knight of Swords is crowning you, excuse me. So we open up with the Chariot, boom, already straight out the gate with, whew, let's go. Judgment's crossing you. And Knight of Swords is crowning. It's kind of like the universe is saying, Aries, slow down. Now, I know that's not your favorite thing to hear. Okay, but you are showing me one of those classic Aries personality profiles. Impatience. Now, trust me, I'm not one of those persons that automatically defaults to, just to be clear, all signs have superpowers. Therefore, they have kryptonite, pros, thus cons. They're hand in hand, one and the same. All 12 signs, no exceptions. So yours, obviously one of your superpowers being empowerment. I got this. I stand up for myself. I know what I believe in. And then on the end of that, the tail end of that is impatience. You're showing me a lot of activity and the universe is crossing you. Hey, Aries, slow down. You haven't thought of everything yet. And you're like, the hell I haven't. And you keep pressing your point. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. I'm taking action. You can't stop me. And the universe is like, we're not trying to stop you. We're trying to inform you before you take any more action. So they're showing you pump the brakes. And you're like, no, no, no. I got to go. My heart's in this. You've already made up your mind with the Knight of Swords. Excuse the background noise. 'Tis busy in the neighborhood. We had a weather break, and so naturally everybody's doing something outside right now. Now, you're like, I got to go. I got to go. I've thought about it. My heart's in it. You can't stop me, right? I'm lined up. I'm lined up. Okay, your heart's lined up to your mind. Your spiritual self, you keep getting universal red flags, stop, pump the brakes, okay, speed bumps. And you're like, no, nuh-uh, no, I gotta go. And here's the thing, not too long ago, you came out of a place of rest with the 4 swords. Now, 4 swords, excuse me, is in your past. That doesn't mean it's over. That means you've experienced it in the past. You can again in present. And I know that you rested on this subject, 4 swords. I think we needed to wait a little more. Now, I'm not saying wait. I'm not saying wait on a person or wait on a situation. I'm saying there's something here that has not completely fallen into place for you. You are so close to it, man. Four of Swords is in the past. I know you have experience with rest and calm and organizing your mind and your spirit so that way everything's syncing up and that you know healing principles. I know you're familiar with it, but it's in your past. And now you're showing me, well, that's past, and I'm working the present. The present says, I got to go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And Judgment's like, I don't think you're ready yet. That's crossing you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anti-movement. I want you to move forward in whatever here is important to you. What you're showing me is that you're choosing the terms and you're insisting now's the time. Judgment saying, yes, forward momentum, just not right now. You need more rest. You need more healing. You need more insight. You need more something. Did you notice the areas I'm looking at? This is very distinct. You're either getting hit with a bunch of red lights and all your goals, movements, and activities, and you're like, what the hell is going on? That's the areas I'm talking to. Why am I hitting every red light? Why does one thing after another keep happening? You know what I'm talking about? So red lights is an easy kind of metaphor for the thing, or easy sort of analogy. It's a little more than that. It's just that frustration. It's like, I just want to do the simplest things. This, that, and the other. I meant to do this, and I'm getting to it, and I've got the energy, so let's do it now. There's something about now that's not working. Okay? So I'm not advocating waiting. I'm saying a little perspective might be helpful. If Five of Wands is exiting, which says like, oh, great. Oh, and then I saw you what's before you in future. So we're making things a lot harder on ourselves now. So the Five of Wands, that sense of fight and battle of will specifically here in this context, stubbornness, agenda pushing, that's exiting. What's before you now is the Ten of Wands. Things went from, okay, they were already difficult and combative to, well, now this is just stressful. This is just burdensome. And now I'm tired and I'm exhausted. Yeah, I know. So this is someone who's free to pursue whatever it is you're trying to do. Green light. This is someone who has something they want to do, but the time's not right. Guess which one's going to be exhausting? Okay, right now you don't have a green light from the universe. I don't know why. There's something they need you to see. There's something they need you to appreciate. Perhaps it's a matter of divine timing. I don't know. Are you goal driven? Yeah. I see there's something here you're like, I got to do it. I got to do it yesterday. I've rested long enough. I got to go. Now's the time. Universe disagrees. I don't know what needs to fall into place. I have not a clue. But if you took some time to withdraw your energies and your activities, give it some more rest and insight, perhaps it will fall into place. Perhaps one day it will all magically make sense. Perhaps within an hour. I don't know. But they're asking you to stop for now, or at least slow down. Okay? Because you're exhausting yourself. And it's like, it's my way, my way, my way. I got to do this. Well, yeah, you can. Just not right now. Does it have to be right now? And for those of you who are screaming at me, yes, right now, I'm talking to you. Hi. Goodness me. It's kind of like my neighbor there with whatever it is they're using. It's got to be right now. It's got to be right now. It's got to be. But no, I think hopefully they're meeting their goals, though. Now, Three of Cups is in your strengths. You're like, if I want to bring something together, I will. If I want to connect to it, I will. If I want to reconnect to it, I will. And Three of Cups is supposed to be lovely, guys. It's supposed to be light. It's supposed to be easy. That's the whole thing with the Three of Cups, man. It doesn't take too much. It really shouldn't take that much. So I believe you when you tell me I am someone who knows how to bring things together. I know how to bring people together. I know how to make other people feel good, and I'm part of that, and we're all hanging out, and I love that about me. And you're right. I bet you are someone who connects to the Three of Cups very easily, very quickly, just not in this situation. We can't always be 100% rock stars in our strengths. Eventually, we're going to hit our weaknesses too. And that's what I'm seeing for you. You're used to strengths in a certain arena in your life, and you're being met with the weaknesses, the roadblocks, the bumps, and etc. You're just in that space of your life where you're used to being very right and very driven in one area of your life, And you're like, this is my jam, this is my left lane. Okay, so I don't know about you, but where I live in the South, in the left lane, right? That is your fast-paced lane. That's where you're used to existing in whatever this is for you. And for some reason, you're not doing so well over there. There's something here that's not coming together, and it pisses you off because normally it shouldn't be an issue, right? I get it. I'm very familiar with you. Trust me, I understand. Page of Pentacles is in your environment. Something here, you're trying to get it together, bring it together, get more people excited or generated over this. And it's such a little guy, Page of Pentacles in your environment. So that tells me you're trying to get something going. You're trying to get something lifted off the ground, and it's not moving fast enough, and it's not connecting as quickly, or it's not being as well received as you had thought or planned or assumed or anticipated by others. You want others to come out together over this or be excited over this, and it's not happening, or you want elements around this thing to grow and it's just not happening. I understand. Okay? It needs a little bit more patience, a little more coaxing, but I promise you, you are, slowing it down and learning better as you go. Okay? And we have less mistakes later. Something about that's in there, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Because I do see the outcome. Okay, it's finally growing. But Eight of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. Hopes and fears being exactly that. It's not a guarantee of anything. It's just hopes and fears. You hope for this thing to grow. Eight of Pentacles, you're afraid that it won't. And that fear that it won't is driving you to try to push past those red lights and hit those speed bumps at full speed when you should be showing more caution. And I know what that is, guys. Just please be aware. Right? You ever heard that old meaning, that old expression, when we go out of our way to avoid something, we often bring it upon ourselves. Because you're so terrified that this may not work, you're not allowing it to work. Okay, naturally. It's asking you to slow down or take careful consideration of what you're trying to achieve, or your fears might come true. I agree. Something here, I know you're used to things being like this. Not with whatever it is you're trying to grow. And it's looking like it's growing from your home environment. You want it to be a norm for you. You want to grow this into your life so it becomes a norm, okay? Something to do with your home, your work, or a particular value that you want to invest in and let it grow. I understand. Some of you might be going back to school, for example. Some of you might be starting new work or trying to create new work activity, right? I had Three of Pentacles here. It all suggests clean slate, starting over, but we want to be prosperous with it. We want this darn thing to grow. We want others to be excited by it, to invest in it too, right? Emotionally, at least. And here's the thing. Three of Pentacles is in your outcome. It is growing. But we need to back off a little bit. Allow for some organic processes to take place to shape and influence us so it's not this freaking hard, okay? There's something here about Aries. Let a couple things fall into place before you keep pursuing this. Okay? Because trust me, the universe wants you to get back into your fast lane, honey. They do. They do. But there's some things in here that you need to realize first. Because it's looking like you're making this, what should be fun and joyous for you, something you're legitimately excited for. Where do you think all that energy came from? It's because you're excited for this, and I'm happy that you're excited. I'm glad that you're amped up for this. I am so happy that you can't wait to get going on this, but that doesn't mean you shoot yourself in the foot on the way out the door, okay? So take all those red lights as the universal hint. There's some things here that need to fall into place for you. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please, for Aries. Ace of Cups, Queen of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. You're like, my heart's in here. I know, honey, I seen it. The Chariot is still the swiftest vehicle of the heart. I know. But this involves some sort of structure that we would call work. A way in which you would stabilize, prosper, grow, and become master of a craft. It's just beginning for you. I see that. Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, etc. You want this thing to grow. It's in your hopes and fears. Your whole heart's in it. You told me that. I know. The Knight of Swords, another representation of this Queen of Swords. This is what I decide. This is what I'm going to do. This is what, and so the Knight, action though. Action, movement. Both from the mind and the heart. So I'm glad you're consolidated here, but your spirit's not lined up to it. Rather, you have yet a little bit more to learn. Perhaps now is just simply not the time. Okay? You will achieve growth. You know, it's Eight of Swords. You don't want to see it. You don't want to be told to slow down. You know, I ain't trying to hear that. I know. But that doesn't make the message any less apparent. Just because we don't want to hear it. In fact, that's what I'm saying. They just push back harder. Eight of Swords, Four of Swords. In your time off and you're resting and healing, there's something here we still didn't see. I know you think you thought of everything. You didn't. Queen of Pentacles. Something about grounded practicalities meeting realities. There's your will, your way coming up against realities. Queen of Pentacles. Something here about stability and focus is needed. And we kind of woefully neglected this in our period of rest. All right. It could be that not everything's in order yet. Not everything's in place yet. And there was a strong oversight or it's no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and proceed doing this. That's not a big deal. Whatever that thing is that you tried to dismiss or downplay or say, you know what, I'll make the time. That's what we need to go back and look at first. Okay. Imprisonment, yeah, I bet you feel very inhibited. Very, I can't do anything. I know. So then stop trying to do something. Okay? Stop trying to generate activity. I know, it's like, I want to do this while I got the energy. Baby, you're wearing yourself out of energy. So that means when it's time to actually perform and get this going, you may not have anything to give it. So back off. Okay, number 29. Messenger, bright, colorful, vibrant, swift movement. I know, you feel like you can't take. Okay, bad health. Okay, guys, that's what I'm saying. Some of you really thought you recovered before taking this on. You really did, didn't you? Mental health, emotional health, physical health, any of those things, all of those things. You convinced yourself you had enough time off. You convinced yourself you had enough quiet time or healing time, and now you're ready to do this thing. No. 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 We are not recovered enough. Aries, you need to back off for your own good. For your own good, your own safety. Give yourself more space time to heal because something here didn't. I told you, I know you went through a resting period, but it wasn't enough. Something here hasn't occurred to you and your health isn't worth it, or the continuing deterioration of your health isn't worth this, pushing it so hard. Trust me, these elements will fall into place when they're supposed to. Okay? Not when it's just convenient for you. I know I'm not trying to give you a hard time, honey. Every now and again, all signs need pushback. That's just the way it is. Real tarot is real life. And like I said, we all have pros and cons. We all get a little push. I know you've had a couple already. Never mind from me. Okay? So, and that's if this resonates with you. If it don't, great. Take care of the placements. Okay? We all get little pushes and nudges. And sometimes they're not so small. Sometimes they are not so small. We have the letter G. We have the letter R. We have two medallions here. We have the medallion of Scorpio as well as Cancer, both water signs. Keywords here being passionate as well as imaginative. You might have these very strong placements in your chart. We have the spider in reverse and upside down. This is not the time for us to build our web around this concept. Do I want you to? Absolutely. Absolutely. That way the web can do its thing. It serves a purpose, yeah? But we're not able to build our web around this and feel secure by it yet. We have, I know you thought you were being clever. We have the wolf here. I can do this stealth, cunning, you know, I just need to conserve my energy, maybe work more by night. There's the aggression. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. The instinct on this one's not quite right. And then we also have the seashell of Cancer. Again, for some of you, might have some very strong Cancer in your chart, but in that respect of listen to your emotions better, please. Listen to your feeling better. Don't get me wrong, guys. I respect reality as much as anyone. Well, this is a better time for this, and this is a better time of year for that, and this is the kind of, you know, okay, and then there's actually what's going on that's going to allow us to achieve those things or not. And I'm telling you, so you need to pay a little bit more attention to your spiritual, mental, emotional health, okay? Because your body is starting to get very tired, okay? All right. One affects the other, you know that, right? You put a lot of mental strain into something, it's going to start to show up emotionally, physically. Okay? It's a domino effect. One thing is connected to the other. You have my word on this. And what seems like you're just pulling out of your physical energy a little more these days, I'm being a little more physical these days. I promise you it's going to start to wear on you mentally and so on and so forth. Okay? So without you, none of this happens. Remember that. Whatever you're trying to do or achieve here, none of this happens without you, literally. So respect yourself enough to back off and listen, take the cues about what's going on with you. I hope this helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please? Show me that Aquarian collective. What's going on for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius. Very good. What's going on for Aquarius, please? Ten of Swords. Crossing. A Queen of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles crowning you. Past. King of Wands. Exiting. Six of Pentacles before you. Ten of Cups. Okay. Strengths. King of Cups. Oh, your environment. Lovely. Two of Cups. Hopes and fears. Page of Swords. Outcome. The Lovers. Wow, that's so beautiful. We'll get to that. Okay. Ten of Swords. Queen of Cups. Something here causes you pain. Okay. It looks like something is reaching a close and you're not thrilled about it. You actually have mixed feelings on it. You do. Because part of you can remember your attachment to whatever it is you're leaving behind. It's looking like it's something practical in nature. A balance, possibly a work endeavor. We're struggling to let it go, but you also feel in your heart that you should. Because you can remember the good times. You can remember when it was productive. You can remember when it did serve you. And you can even remember how it helps you build who you are with the Nine of Pentacles. Whatever this is that you're struggling but learning to let go of, it's on its way out. You're saying, this kind of made me who I am. It's sad to see it go. It taught me so much about myself, and it helped me build my own sense of character and experience, and it lended to my experience as well as, my coin. You're saying it did all these things. So it's kind of like parting is such sweet sorrow, but also you're saying there's a lot of elements too. It's like, this is ending for a reason. I thank it for what it was, but it also caused me a great deal of stress, and it's not what it used to be. And we can very softly, in a way that's reminiscent, remember how it used to provide for us in a way that was positive, but over time it became negative. But once more, it's like you're grateful for the experience it gave you, the character it helped build you into, right? So I see you parting ways with the balance that you say, this doesn't work for me anymore. It's not very productive. It doesn't give like it used to, and it doesn't lend to me anymore as a person. But I thank it for what it was. And I think that's big of you. And yeah, you're going to have mixed feelings. Even when you're ready to let go of a balance and you're ready to walk away from it and no longer get anything from it, the balance just doesn't suit you anymore. What you grew into or what you become, or frankly, it doesn't meet your needs anymore. You can still remember how you did benefit from it. You can still remember how you were attached to it. That's fine. That's good. That means that you were in it and it meant something to you, right? King of Wands is in the past. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means you've had experience with it in the past and it's still playing out in present day. You have ambitions attached to you. You have a sense of leadership attached to you. You have a sense of initiative and drive attached to you. You're saying it's part of who you are. And whatever this is your drive, your initiative, your ambition is telling you, accept this for what it is. We both know it's time to move on. Six of Pentacles is on the exit. Now that is exiting. It's like I said, it's a balanced system where it used to be. Something that used to be profitable, something that used to make sense. It might have fit your needs at the time, but it doesn't anymore. Your King of Wands says it knows better. It's time to move on. Parting is such sweet sorrow, right? We'll move on to bigger and better things. And you do. Ten of Cups is before you in the immediate future. You're harmonizing very well with family members, friends. Ten of Cups is fairly comprehensive, okay? It's never just really one cup. It's many people. So it's those people who support us in our lives. Again, generally referred to as family and friends. It might be a couple folks. It might be lots of folks. That's not the point. When we look out upon the world, they're there for us. And so many of you will be harmonizing soon with the Ten of Cups. I'm not surprised. We're just in that time of year. But yeah, things are going to feel really good. You'll be glad you let that balance go. It means you get to harmonize more with others. And, you know, family and friends aren't the only one. I might point out King of Cups is in your strengths, beautiful. Strength of heart in there. Love it. Gorgeous. I love your conviction. You consider it a strength. You might sometimes in its con state, because everything, all elements have cons. You might in your con state think that you're too sensitive, but when you're in your pro state, which is what I see here, you are very in tune with your feelings. You don't deny your heart, right? You're just like, I'm a strong feeler. That doesn't mean I go on and on about it with the King of Cups there. Tends to be a little bit more on the silent side, but still in possession of one's heart. We would never deny what's in there. That's what the King of Cups does. This is what I feel, and it's very unapologetic. Like I said, it can be a con, but you're showing me the pro today. You're saying, what's life without a full heart? I love that. Two of Cups is an environment. Yeah, you've got so much love supporting you. You got so much supporting you in your home world and in your spiritual world. And I love that so much. Page of Swords in your hopes and fears. You're like, nah, I'm good. That's great. The Page of Swords in your hopes and fears. If that's what's in your hopes and fears, that's wonderful, darling. That's kind of like saying, it ain't nothing but a drop in the bucket. It's nothing. A Page of Swords is nothing. It's well, your message has been blessed by Our Lady of Perpetual Long Care. Yeah, that's Bob. The legend himself. That is Bob. That's Bob. For those of you who don't know or remember, Bob, he's my 85-year-old talkative neighbor who is very, very fond of old lawn equipment. That's why it takes about 2 or 3 times as long, but he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Bob's going to be Bob. That's just how it is. I'm not making fun. It's just, it is what it is. He's pretty much an underground legend to this channel of almost 5 years. 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, something like that. Anyway, yeah. You know, the channel has grown and his lawn equipment has not changed. It is. There you go. Who am I to say? Yeah, but the Page of Swords and the hopes and fears, honey, that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah. That's nothing. You're not worried about anything in particular, which is nice. You know? And then the Lovers is in the outcome, so good on you. There's nothing but love in there. Support. It's like, hey, 10 of Cups is great. 2 of Cups is great. You're full of love. You're full of love. You're so full of love. And your outcome with the Lovers, why not? Why not? Why not a cherry on that sundae? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's get some advice. Now, this, I really respect this process. I get it. I've been through this. A lot of people have. It's like this helped make me me. This is what lended to my sense of personhood and security and my, you know. But my fire knows better. My ambition knows better. It's time to part ways with this. And I can remember the good times. And thank you so much for what this has afforded me. But it's time for me to move myself forward and look at how you just unfold beautifully after that. You feel really good about yourself and with everyone who's in your life. So that 2 of Cups is in your environment. I don't know, honey. That could be anybody who's part of that 10. You showed me that love is important to you, and you seem to be surrounded by it. Well supported, well thought of, loved, cared for, respected. But I like that Lovers right there in the outcome. Like, yeah, you know. What's one more? What's one more? Let's, you know, why not? But I mean, one more person in my life who loves me. That's great. You are just so full of love and surrounded and supported by it. That just makes me so happy. I mean, you have a beautifully strong connection in there, you know? Ace of Cups. Oh, 10 of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Oh, honey. Yeah. After the passing of this, which you part ways with, you do start to make well, you are open to new opportunities. I see. Oh. Interesting. 6 of Swords, Page of Wands, 5 of Swords. You almost talked yourself. This is critical for some of you. This is a key thing for some of you. Some of you got really close. I mean, super close to walking away from that new beginning. You almost talked yourself out of it. You almost did. You almost did. And then you didn't. Oh, That's interesting. What an interesting little clue. What an interesting little thought. Some of you are like, I'm not gonna bother with that. It was a self-sabotage at the last second. You talked yourself out of it. It was like you tried to talk yourself out of approaching whatever that is right there. And then you didn't. You stopped. You said, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to interact with it. Now, Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. There's this thing here that says love hurts. That's true. If you remember that, who was that? Love hurts. True. It does. It can. But if we are open towards it, really open towards it, we can make it a new beginning. And some of you got so close, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna get away from it. Wow. You'll be so glad that you didn't. You'll be so glad that you didn't pull away from that, or that you engaged with it or re-engaged with it. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but you'll be so glad that you did. You would be connecting. Is that random? Did we run into this? Or are we consciously and willfully connecting to it or trying to connect to it? Because you have a very strong moment where you're like, no, this is stupid. You'll be so glad you didn't talk yourself out of it. Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups. Oh. Connecting to someone of an equally strong heart space. It's been a while, apparently. You're right. Love can hurt. And sometimes love does hurt, but not always. Some of you are connecting to a very strong heart space, and it's been some time, or reconnecting to it. Okay. I don't know. I just know that the Lovers is in the outcome, so it's achieved. It's beautiful. You'll be so glad you didn't talk yourself out of it, and that because it would have been a form of self-sabotage. Some part of you recognized that. Some part of you recognized it, felt it instinctually otherwise, and decided to lean into this instead of away from it. So that means something crosses your timeline that gives you the option to opt out. You're not going to approach it. You're not going to reapproach it. Or let's say you see them in public and you're like, I'm going to say something real quick. You know? Wow. Aquarius, good on you. I'm sorry I didn't get too many details in here, but you got to live life and find out, because I think you'll know. I know you'll know. I know you'll know. We have the key that tried to pop out there. That's cool. Number 33. You have the key, okay, to the cage of your own heart. The roses in that cage. Yes, indeed. Oh, goodness me. The house is in reverse. The big house, the intimidating house. No sense of intimidation here. There is no sense of formality here. Okay, it's informal. Informal. Someone who is middle-aged, time has passed. Messages. The divine timing principle, where everything has its time and its place, the cuckoo clock. It's very elaborate. Everything works on time when it's supposed to, but it's not necessarily under our guidance or our hand. The mature woman here, this is someone of a certain age. Time is a thief. Time got away from us when it comes to somebody. Number 24. Time got away from us when it comes to somebody specific, and now the time is perhaps more in our favor. Interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Yours had some interesting bits that if we had more time, I would have been a little more nosy. Yeah. Oh. Okay. New moon in Leo. Shine. Yes, indeed. It'll be your time to shine. I know it. I sense it. I feel it. I see it. Full moon in Libra. We're going to find a balance with this. Yes, and with yourself above all. Okay, lovely. Oh, Bob, you're not very, bless him. All right. I'm seriously starting to think about gifting my neighbor a new leaf blower, one that's not quite so ancient and actually does its job. So it won't have the pretense of going for several hours. Let me know what you think. We have the letters Q and X. Of course, may not apply to you. Of course, that's Q and X. You let me know if it does, however. The L, that's you. Great insight, wisdom, all right, the ability to see with the wide eyes, yes. We have the dragon, some of you have some very strong fire in your chart, but excuse me, that sense of empowerment here. We have the little star, again, a representation of you, and the rose. Yeah, there is a sweetness in here. Yeah, there is. The unfolding of the rose, it's very sweet, beautiful, it's romantic, and of course, it's right there in that outcome. Okay, Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments, take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please? For Gemini. Your message has been blessed by Our Lady Perpetual Lawn Care, specifically Bob. Yes, indeed, the channel legend himself, Bob being my 85-year-old neighbor, who is very, very fond of old lawn care equipment. Yeah, what's going on, please? Show me. Show me, Gemini. And by that, I mean, you know, what could take 20 minutes, Bob's going to do in 2 hours. Because that's Bob. Bob's his own unique peacock, and he's going to fly. What's going on, please? Show me, Gemini. Show me, Gemini. Show me, Gemini. Show me, Gemini. The Queen of Pentacles. Crossing the Fool. Crowning the King of Swords. Okay, I can already tell you're overthinking something that you naturally feel, but that's all right. You're going to do what you're going to do. Nine of Pentacles in the past, behind you, Page of Wands. Okay, good. If you're not worried about it, I'm not either. Before you, Three of Swords. Now that is interesting. Strengths is the world. Okay, environment. Death. What's going on? Okay. Okay. Eight of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. Three of Wands is in the outcome. Well, that actually makes sense in what I'm seeing here. Straight away, you open up with, I'm grounded, I'm practical, I'm resourceful, I know what's up, I know what my worth is, I know what my value is, I know what I bring to the table, right? Literally, metaphorically, everything. You're like, I'm all that. I prize stability, I prize responsibility, I prize purpose. And the Fool's crossing that sense of, should I open up? New beginning. No, yes, no, yes, no. And we're going back and forth on that because the Fool's a blast of energy. You can't fake it. You can't talk yourself into it. And if you try to, that's where you become foolish, right? Because you don't actually have the feeling, but you're trying to force yourself to act on something you don't feel. So that is foolish. But the Fool, okay, suggests new beginning. And that's a natural blast of energy, which you have, but your mind and your sense of practicality are trying to ground you to other things. It's your mind's kicking off here with the King of Swords is in your crowning position. It's like, are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? Have we thought all our thoughts? Are we doing the right thing? Are we being grounded? Are we being practical? Are we being rational? Are we being logical, Gemini? I don't know about all this Fool business. Just because you feel inclined towards a new beginning doesn't mean we should. So it's kind of like that. But to be fair to you, the bigger parts of who you are, your personality, want you to be prepared. So that's what I'm saying here. Are we prepared? Are we prepared? Are we prepared? Are we prepared? And you've been asking yourself that for a minute. Nine of Pentacles is in your past, which means it doesn't mean that your Nine of Pentacles is over. That just means if you experienced it once, you can again. You know what it is to be autonomous. You know what it is to be a person of individuation. You know what it is to be on your own 2 feet. You know what it is for some of you to be single and to be secure. Nine of Pentacles is secure of the self. Right? This is what I can do. Me. And you're saying, I know what that's like. I remember what that's like. Yeah, I remember what that's like. You've had experience with it before. And you did just fine. The thing is this what we want to do? Are we ready to do this thing? 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 Well, and is that what we're supposed to do? Is that what we should do? Page of Wands is on the exit. There's something here that no longer interests you in terms of energy, your curiosity. There's something here, frankly, you're just no longer curious about. You don't want to open your energy towards it at all. It's exited. You don't feed it anymore. Not even at the most smallest of ways. Not even the most smallest of ways in terms of curiosity. Like, it doesn't even have an eighth of my attention anymore. That's it. There's just something here that's completely closed off to you. You give it no more attention or energy. That's it. I don't even know what it is. I have no idea. It looks like a speck of dust in my eye. It's exited. That's all I know. The Three of Swords is before you in the future. You have decided, and it hurts. It hurts. But to your full credit, you made up your mind. I didn't know how long you were going to teeter on that edge. You know, you're taking something here super seriously. And I see why. It's going to hurt. Even if we provoke endings, which is what I see you doing, it's going to hurt. You know, we can be as mentally prepared as we want to be. It's still going to hurt. That's why I tell people all the time. They think, like, okay, so just in a classic breakup scenario, you think being on the receiving end of someone's breakup is the hardest thing in the world. Well, I promise you it hurt the other person too. They had to prompt it. They had to think about it. They had to feel about it. They had to know that that was right for them too. So that wasn't exactly comfortable for them either. There will be pain, whether you're the one who's prompting it or on the receiving end of it. It's just the acceptance, the finality of it. Knowing this. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Be you the one who does it, or you're on the receiving end of someone else's decision. The thing is, it becomes your decision too. It's going to hurt. Three of Swords. And I am sorry, but you are prepared for this decision. You are prepared for it. That's all I know. Very, very prepared for it. And the fact that the Fool was playing tug of war with you for a while now, I don't know how long, but long enough. I want a new beginning. And the other parts of you are like, are you sure though? Did you think of everything? Are you prepared for every case scenario? Worst case scenario? Best case scenario? Did you prepare for that? And the Fool's like, I don't do that. I'm just trying to get you to move on. You know? But it was real. It's a real feeling. And I know you can do it. You've done it before. Okay? In your strengths, that's a great strength to have. I highly recommend it. As the world, know when doors are closing, yes, but also understand in terms of optimism that doors also open too. It's not just about closing, it's about opening. You see them as being one and the same. Congratulations, well done. I'm very proud of you. That's why a lot of people stay in things that they just shouldn't, because they can't see opportunity. All they can see is loss and fear of missing out. If it got to this point, you're not missing out on much. If it got to this point, you did your job. You're seeing opportunity for yourself too, not just loss. So it's a good strength to have, my friend. Death is your environment. Yes, your environment's changing, shifting, transforming as we speak. The more you reach for this decision, the more it reaches back for you. Okay? It looks like there won't be too much struggle. All right? But yes, your environment's shifting, it's changing, it's transforming as we speak. It doesn't just stop here. No. It's transforming. It's in a shifting state now, or will be soon. Okay? You're doing good. I was starting to say, what the heck is all this back and forth about? I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, good job, though. Really good job. Eight of Pentacles is in the hopes and fears. Something here to do with work. You hope work's okay. You're afraid it might not be. Or how you are perceiving how you will do for yourself, because it's been a while since you've been on your own. Something like that. You'll be okay. All right? You're concerned in some ways about functionality. Hopes and fears is a guarantee of nothing. It's just simply a reflection of what I said. Hopes and fears. You hope something will work out. You're afraid it won't. You hope this thing will operate smoothly. You fear it won't. You see what I'm saying? That's it. It could literally have to do with work or overall what you're experiencing here. This thing that we're cycling out or transforming. In the metaphor of things, you hope it works out smoothly. You're afraid it may not work out smoothly. It could still be a reflection of this. Okay? Especially someone who's made up your mind and now you are invested in the mechanics of ending this. You're going to wonder about its operations. Okay? But also, yes, for some of you, you have a concern for work. It's an isolated incident, but as it applies to this, the logistics, meeting out the decision in a way that's timely, perfunctory, and is an honor and reference to everything you've put into it. Okay? Outcome is the Three of Wands. I see you looking out at new horizons. And for that, it's not a waiting position. You're looking out at new horizons. In this respect, it's hope in the classic sense of the Three of Wands. In other words, not useless waiting. You hope to see other things for yourself. Remember that world as being part of your strengths? That's why it's one of the best strengths you can have, because it implies the pro as well as the con. Okay? So the Three of Wands is in your outcome. You're in a hope position. Looking out on the horizon, looking forward to other things in your life. This obviously is a chapter of something of some significance that is exiting your life. Okay? Not insubstantial. Right? This ain't peanuts, whatever this is. It's kind of a big deal. So the Three of Wands in the outcome, yeah, I think that's a really respectable position. Will it always be like this? You looking forward to other things? No, of course not. Eventually you'll have other activity as you start to write new chapters for yourself. But this is the concentration that I'm seeing here for you today. Let's get some advice, please, for Gemini. Let's get some advice, please, for Gemini. Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. Wow, okay. Real talk, you were the heavyweight contributor into whatever this was. It was mostly your time, energy, and effort, and your profit, right? Your work endeavors is what made this what it is. You built most of this off your own back. Whatever your network is in terms of resources, who you're connected to and why, beyond personal, home, career, finances is so much more than that. It literally would not be what it is without you. Okay? I see that. You really are not afraid to stand on your own. You've had experience with this before. And you know what it is to build things. You know what it is to build a legacy, a reputation. The Hermit, that's based on years of wisdom and experience and having the kind of foresight to bring it all together. You're really good at connecting, aren't you? I think you are. Yeah, you are. Oh, I said that. And look at that. It provoked some of your stronger elements here. You're saying I connect what it is supposed to connect. It's just intelligence. It's just insight. It's just wisdom. It's experience. You're saying I only connect what's there. I work with what's there. Goodness me, you're very good at this. But you've been unhappy with the Four of Cups and the Sun. You haven't been able to access your place of warmth or happiness in a while. Okay. Despite all your wealth of experience. And this goes to show you money can't buy happiness, right? And the Ace of Cups. Yeah, your heart's been aching for a while. It hasn't been happy in love. In fact, there's a lot of grievances around the subject of love and happiness. Success was a non-issue. Or feeling connected to a greater purpose. Let's say you don't even identify as someone who's being wealthy. Okay. Let's say you, a long time ago, saw your pathway for what it was. You have been blessed with the ability to connect and bring things together in a way that intelligently functions, not just for yourself, but for other people. But you're saying when it comes to your love life, this is where it always meets a sore point, or it's met a sore point for a long time, where you always feel like you're lacking and deprived in the love and respect and sunshine that you feel that you deserve. Okay? It's like, how can I be so amazing in my 3D world and my emotional life always is lagging? Right? I'm not happy in the areas where I should be the happiest the most. You know, it's no wonder you keep leaning backwards on your single, standing on your own times. Because it feels like you've done so much of this on your own anyway. It's like I might as well do it on my own, officially. Because when it comes to the matter, honey, 4 and 5 of Cups, that's just too much. That's too much to carry. That's too much to carry in the heart where there should be love and happiness and support. And there you are at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we haven't been able to feel deeply connected to someone for a long time. We wonder why we do it. Okay, I don't want to keep going down that road. I think your reading speaks for itself today. But yeah, no, I understand, honey. How can I be so successful here and feel so stable here and know my worth here, and the person I'm connected to of the heart doesn't seem to understand my worth, or at least connect to me emotionally in the way that I need them to, because your emotional needs are not being met. They are drastically cut in half, and it's spanned out over too much time. But if you're that Gemini who's in it, then you would know. Okay, you don't need me to tell you. And that's why. That's why. All right? That's why. Love and time, darling. Stronger connectivity, the one that you need. I am sorry. Adjudication, the fairness, wealthy man. Yeah, I know. You're very concerned about the assets and what it is that you have accumulated and what's fairness, what constitutes fairness. You have the adjudication. Are you being fair to the situation, and is it being fair to you? Again, even if you don't identify as wealthy, you have a name attached to you. You have a reputation attached to you. I can tell it's important. You are well thought of. Strong reputation and that sense of fairness. And you have that really strong need in you to be fair. Be fair. Be fair in this situation. Yet you're still you. Your heart still aches. Okay. Mature woman. Okay. The mature woman, there might be someone here of that demographic. Okay. Someone who, bare minimum, meets the criteria of middle-aged and older. So someone here has that sense, it's you. I see that as being you, the wealthy man, however you want to do it. Well, wealthy woman, whatever, the person of reputation, resources, and connectivity. That has been your reading this whole time. And there's someone else here. And in between is this concept of fairness, or what we would call adjudication. Have I listened to everything? Have I tallied things up back and forth, weighed the scales, listened to all the facts, data, information? Okay, as it concerns a mature woman, messages, yes, we're talking, yes, we're discussing. 20, who's this? There's another woman here. And by that I mean another card. This energy's different. This one's different. This one's different. It's softer. This is the woman of red. In other words, the romantic female. Open. Okay, number 29, messages. This is the one whom it is radiates attraction. What is this? Yeah, I know. She who bears the rose. Yeah, I know. That's just another way of saying it. It's the Lenormand and Kipper combined, so they got the same card twice, essentially. The main female here, the one that bears the rose. Someone here who has a child. Possibly. Dependencies. We have a message, either from them or to them. 29, 2, 7, and 18. There it is again. Very consistent. 3 times this person appears. 3 times this person appears. Okay. Very strong feminine energy. Represents romanticism, love. Even a sense of poetry, artistry. Just the idealisms of traditional feminine representation. But very strong love. Very strong love and bearance on that person. Okay. Oh. Okay. Maybe a little further out that one is. I couldn't see too much of it, darling. I'd tell you if I could. But I suppose you were out there looking on the horizon with hope for a reason, eh? Like I said, there's a big part of you that doesn't... You don't just understand endings, you understand beginnings too. A beginning for you is inevitable. Okay? In some capacity. Okay. New moon in Cancer. Relax. All right. F, K, A. We have the medallion of you, Gemini. Gemini might be a very prominent placement for you, an obscure placement too. It's very strong. And then we have the bicycle. It's just a bicycle. For some of you, you cycle professionally. Perhaps you see the symbols for bike lanes. I don't know. Often, I don't know. But the bicycle for some of you. And then we have the unicorn in reverse. Something here did not live up to its promise of magic. Yeah. All right. All right, Gemini, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Libra, please? Show me, Libra. What's going on, please, for that Libra? Collective. What is going on, please, for Libra? King of Cups. Crossing the Ten of Pentacles. The Magician's crowning. Oh, the Lovers is in the past. Exiting. Four of Swords. Resting on it. The Moon. Beforean future. Strengths, the Sun. Environment, the Hierophant. Okay. The High Priestess, hopes and fears. Six of Pentacles is the outcome. How interesting. Beautiful heart space, by the way. King of Cups right there in the opening. You feel a great deal. And the thing is, you kind of take pride in that. You see the King of Cups as a pro, not a con. Well, we all have pros and cons. And some would say that the King, Queen of Cups are too sensitive. But their pro is that they are emotionally open. They don't suppress anything. They claim what they feel. So you're kind of proud that you're a big feeler, you know? And don't get me wrong, sometimes it gets hard, right? Because they're going to carry inevitably a lot of sensitivity with that. But for the most part, you're saying, I have a big heart and I'm okay with it. That means I know what I love. That means I love myself too. So that's not bad. You're right, it's not. It's great. It's a great way to perceive yourself and to feel. Ten of Pentacles is crossing. You are working on key elements of stabilization at this time. There's some challenges in there, but nothing you can't handle. In terms of just your everyday activities that you have built in terms of foundation, Ten of Pentacles, that empire can be as small or as big as you have created it. I don't know. But the thing is, the biggest trick with Ten of Pentacles is that it requires a lot of maintenance. So once we've built it, now we got to maintain it. And that's really a lot of long-term activity, which is where we get long-term effect from with that Ten of Pentacles. So all I see is that right now you're putting a lot of love into what you have built, which is, again, whatever you have created. And that could be anything from personal, home, finances, and career to, you know, family, community, resources, network, connectivity, the whole thing. So you're putting a little extra love in there these days to stabilize it, most likely. Which crowning you is the Magician. You're doing a good job, you're getting results, and you want more of it. You're like, more of that, please. More stability, more resources, I don't know, better accessibility for everything that you are connected to, you name it. But you are manifesting more for yourself in terms of stability, the further enrichment of the environment for which you have created, again, all good stuff. And you're really throwing yourself into it, and I respect that a lot. The Lovers is in your past. At some point, you had strong connection in your life. Do you still? I don't know. The thing is with the past, it's a tricky position. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means you've experienced it once. You could still do in present day and therefore your future, or you're saying this was an important point of reference in your past, but may not necessarily be available to you now. I think it's not necessarily available to you now. I think you're showing me there's a very strong connection that crosses my timeline, and it influenced you quite a bit. In fact, it might have been a kind of triggering, maybe even potential source of inspiration when it comes to your foundation. Perhaps you might have considered this strong lover, right, as part of your foundation once upon a time. Four of Swords is exiting. There's something here you no longer feel the need to heal over, rest on, think on, or contemplate anymore. Not to say that we're perfect and we don't have any more healing to do. No. That's not the case. You're showing me a specific element that you no longer feel the need to protect yourself over, that you no longer feel the need to go within and mule over, right? Get a breather from or heal from anymore. You're saying, I can put that aside now. That part's done. What's before you is the future, the moon. A little bit of the unknown, true enough. Fair enough. It's in a future position. There's some things we just don't know about with the moon. And there's the things that you do. And that's where you keep it to yourself. That's interesting. You're saying there's a couple things, Christina, I'm keeping to myself. Under the moon. I might push that point. I'm a little curious about what it is. Because we all have secrets, baby. We all have active secrets. We all have a little bit of the moon. There's the moon we know, our active secrets, the stuff we choose to keep to ourselves. And then there's the stuff that's floating around in there because we're just not comfortable with it. And then, yeah, that also includes stuff of the unknown. So I kind of want to see where you're at. I'm a little curious there. The sun is in your strengths. That's a beautiful strength. You know you want to be happy, and therefore you must know what it is that indeed makes you happy. You're quite good at that. You're quite adept at that. I can identify what makes me happy. You also recognize then that the sun is a strength, which means you understand happiness is a choice. A lot of people hate it when I say that, and that's because the sun is not their strength. It is a choice to be happy. That doesn't mean it's easy. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it's knowing when and where and how to appreciate the small things. And in that moment, you can know the sun. The Hierophant is in your environment. I see commitment. I do. I see commitment for you. The solid commitment that classically shows up in people's first thought of home. Homebound commitment. Now, what that looks like in terms of how it plays out in your reality, I don't know, but it's in your environment. You have a strong sense of commitment to your home base, your environment, and I'm thinking someone else. I feel support in there. I can't quite see it, but I feel support in there. So if that's you, congratulations to you both. There's a strong sense of commitment in this house. That's what that environment is. Okay, so I don't think it's this love or no. I think this is someone who might have lended to the idea of your foundation, maybe even inspired it, or perhaps that's how you two connected once upon a time, was in the shared environment, shared community, shared work endeavors or goals, something like this. There's an influence there, and you don't deny that. You don't. But it's almost like you're saying, it's not that you're over it, but you don't need to heal on that anymore. You accept it for what it was. Okay? So no, your Hierophant here that feels very close to home. Okay, very secure. Hopes and fears, the High Priestess. You know, I think that's interesting. It's kind of like saying, I trust that I'm listening to myself. I'm not always certain. And that's the thing about our intuition. It guarantees nothing. There's no absolutes. We just have a very strong drive, sometimes motivations, or frankly, those moments of unknown origins with our clarity. And by that I mean insights. Insights that just have unknown origins and they just hit us out of nowhere. That's part of the intuitive process as well. Where is this taking me? Am I listening to the right thing? I don't know if I can trust this. That's all part of the intuitive process. It's not as straightforward to say the Hierophant is, which is clearly outlined and defined. And that's one of the reasons why the Hierophant is associated with commitment, because everything's lined out, or at least that's the idea. And the High Priestess doesn't have such an outline. It says, I'm kind of going by what I feel. And I admit, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I hope I'm listening to myself correctly. I think you are. I do. But I can see where every now and again you would question it. And then the Six of Pentacles and the outcome. All is well. All is balanced. Not bad. All is well. All is balanced. You know, like I said, you're putting more and more into your stability factors these days. All right. Whatever that lover is, they played their part in your foundation, all right? And I think you showing me that is like giving them a little shout out, you know? But that's where they are, is in the past. Your Four of Swords is in the exit position. You no longer have to heal yourself over that particular subject. You recognize their place, or what their place was in your world, and you accept that too. You're right. Strong connections like that, they had the place at some point in our foundation. You know, our ability to recognize it and be at peace with it, you know. It's like you had your time, you had your place, you had a purpose. So thank you for your purpose. Something like that. Let's get some advice, please. It's the Swords of Truth about healing. A very strong truth about healing. Two of Swords, clearing up indecision. It took you a long time, my friend, and I mean a long time, to make up your mind on a particular subject, but when you did, it gave you a lot of healing. The Ace of Swords, guys, is an absolute truth. The idea is that this is going to kick this thing's ass, right? This Two of Swords is nothing. When you have an absolute truth, you stop peddling around in the minors. I don't know. Well, screw that. Ace of Swords suggests I don't have to know. This is what I know now. And it can take us a long time to arrive to one particular truth over a very difficult subject. But if you work at it, and you work at it as temperance would suggest, meaning time, you can have absolute certainty that you arrived to the correct conclusion and it gave you healing. And that's why I say, that's why I saw it exit for you. You don't need to heal yourself over a particular subject anymore. The Lovers. It's kind of like you acknowledging this was their place, this was their purpose in the foundation of who I am once upon a time. Like I said, it feels like a little shout out. It does. You're acknowledging that the role has been fulfilled. You let them go, or you learn to let them go. You see it now? I know, Four of Swords is in the reverse. It's Five of Swords. You had to really learn the hard way about your self-sabotaging tendencies, trying to overthink this. Knight of Cups, about what you really felt. Man, goodness gracious. Three of Swords, King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. It simply put, your heartbreak and whatever this was justified. It was real. It served a purpose. Your feelings served a purpose. But this is something that you can let go of now. It served its purpose. It served its role. The biggest point of contention for you in that self-sabotaging tendency was that this meant more than it did, or that it was going to serve you further out than it did. And it didn't. And that's something you had to come to peace with the hard way. There's a lot of backstory on that one. Okay. Let me see that moon, please. This is me just being nosy. I know. And when we have strong connections like that, we really want them to serve more of a purpose than what they initially present. I promise you. If you learned your lesson, their purpose was served. A lot of people get stuck at, but it had to have meant more than this. It had to have meant more than it did. It's just taking us a long time to see it for what it is, because our emotional agenda gets in the way. You know what I mean? The moon. No wonder you're at peace with the subject. You had to earn it the hard way. You really got your ass kicked on that one. All right. Page of Wands. The Ten of Cups. And the Four of Wands. Set in the moon. You keep it to yourself. I guess you're a very private person. I understand that. I have a lot of similar attributes in that respect when it comes to family life. You've seen it. If you're familiar with my work, if you've been watching my messages, you know I'm very tight-lipped about my home life and my family life. It's like it's really nobody's business. I just want my family to be happy and healthy, and that's all that matters. And you're saying under your moon, you're very happy at home, but you keep that to yourself. You're saying it's nobody's business. You have your reasons. Maybe you like to keep your work life separate from your home life. I get that. I respect that too. But underneath your moon, all is well. I told you I saw a very strong environment for you where there was a strong sense of commitment and support. And perhaps it's still developing and it's in its early stages and you don't want anything to screw that up. A lot of people get secret about that. Something is developing and building. It's beautiful. Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups, and that is beautiful, right? An emotional relationship, it's stabilizing, it's harmonizing, and we're growing into it, and we're excited. But we don't want to tell anybody because it's none of their fucking business. That's just how, this is what I abide. I'm so old school like this. And it is what it is. I mean, we live now in a society where what I'm about to tell you is completely different. It's completely a contradiction where everybody's so busy spilling their guts about their life and this is what I do and this is my life and capture my moments. I'm like, it's none of your business. Because this is the real truth. This is the real honest to God truth. While a lot of people who identify with private, this is my home life. This is why we're like this. You find and you develop this sensitivity that most people don't actually care. They just want their curiosity satisfied. So my satisfying other people's curiosity is not worth my privacy. You see what I'm saying? And I feel the Libra I'm looking at, you get this. I think you get this. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it to me to sacrifice my sense of self and who I am and the person I am in my private life just so what? Some online person can has a second of gratification about what's going on. What the hell is that, you know? So I don't know. There's something about, yeah, something is developing and it's harmonizing and it's beautiful as hell and you're part of it. And it's like your own beautiful blushing secret under the moon. So I'm going to let you, we're going to go ahead and we'll keep on with that moon. You know who you are and that's what's important. You recognize and acknowledge the strong connection for what it was, not for what it wasn't. And yeah, I mean, the Hierophant is growing in your home environment. I love this for you. Yeah, keep on. I can see where sometimes you doubt your intuition. I think that's normal, especially if I identify as someone who's intuitive, then you know what I mean. Because there's that sense of that special navigation system, and then our own personal agendas and biases coming into play, and how to distinguish those two. And that's why a lot of people are not comfortable with the intuitive process, honey. They're like, I only rely on what I can see. That's it. But you operate from a bigger heart, you know? So I can see where you prize the intuitive process a little more. Yeah, you see the 30, there's the moon again. It's like it's nobody's business. You have something beautiful blossoming, don't you? Your sense of commitment and emotional harmony and stability is growing, and it's like, this is just for me to know. I love it. I love that for you. Congratulations. That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Where toil and labor is in reverse. Some of you are like, my days of working hard are declining. My work isn't what it used to be. Like I said, you're in maintenance mode and you really put your heart in everything you do. Stability, yes, but it's maintenance. Okay, so it's toil and labor in reverse. You're like, my days of working hard or busting my back, those days are no more. Something like that. I don't know, but that's wonderful. Congratulations. Oh, snap. There it is. There's somebody. The one who bears the rose, except it's the masculine version, number 28. Somebody, Gemini, got all three of the feminine. You got the masculine. So this is either you or the person you're connecting with. It's happening. Oh, okay. All right. I'll get off number 37. Poverty. Some of you, by the way, in terms of what I'm saying for here today, some of you come from a background of poverty, or I would say modesty. Okay, and that's why, so you're kind of proud of the fact you don't have to work so hard anymore. Okay, I don't know, but for some of you that was a very distinct feature, number 37. Or is that sense of always having to work hard, or perhaps you started working hard very young, something like that. But those days, no. You're in a lovely maintenance mode, balance here in the outcome. You're good. Congratulations to you. I know what you mean. Full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. Oh, I'm sure things get tense sometimes. All right. So I mean, that's some very strong Scorpio in your chart. Yeah, that King of Cups on the opening. I shouldn't be surprised. Breathe through the tension. Just remember, however tense things get or difficult, you can always breathe through the moment. You can get to the next moment. Okay? Take inspired action. Full moon in Virgo. Okay. We have the letters E. We have the letter U. We have two medallions here. Scorpio, the key word here being passionate, and then the medallion of Taurus. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting. We have the symbol for music. Some of you are really, really, really into your music. Like you take your music super serial, or it's very impactful to you or important to you for some reason. And then we have the medallion of the child. Some of you have children, or dependents. Okay? Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please, for Taurus? Show me that, Taurus Collective. What is going on for Taurus? Show me, Taurus. The World. Okay, Two of Wands crossing. Crowning, Seven of Cups. Past the Empress exiting you. Wow. Okay. Let's do it. Bring it on. Before you, Page of Pentacles, Strengths, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and okay, fair, fair. 2 of Pentacles in your environment, that's fair. Hopes and fears, 8 of Pentacles, outcome you. King of Pentacles, you got this. It may not seem like you do, but you do. Promise. Okay? I'm not the one who blows the smoke up the ass. This is not my gig. This is not my job. Why I'm terribly popular or unpopular. I'm an acquired taste. Let's put it that way. The world is in your opening. No, I see that. We have a cycle here closing. We have to remember the world serves a dual purpose. Always has, always will. Where one door, say it with me, where one door closes, another opens. Yes, very good. You accepting that decision. It's within grasp. You struggle with it. 2 of Wands is challenging you. That's not much of a challenge. It's not much of a challenge. You're seeing it for yourself. It's before your very eyes. Okay. Don't get me wrong. 2 of Wands implies decision-making and communication. And you hesitate on accepting this world, this cycle. But ultimately, the 2 of Wands is nothing in the face of the world. You see it for yourself. A door is wanting to close. It is closing. It's closing. Who prompted it? I don't know. You might have. It might have happened to you. Point is that it's within grasp for you to accept it. Okay, it is. It's here. What's crowning you? 7 of Cups. You actually want to open up. Within your heart, at least. Where you are spiritually, that's changing too. But hold on. I do have a tendency to put the cart before the horse. I realize that. 7 of Cups, though, is in your crowning position. You do want to open up from the heart. You want to feel different things. You want to feel other things. You want to explore in some way. Okay? The past, now that's interesting. Excuse me. That's interesting. You are showing me the Empress. Now, the past does not mean that it's over. That means you experienced it in the past. You can again in present day. As you. Now, by all rights, I could say that's someone else. The Emperor and Empress tend to enjoy a VIP status. So I could say that's someone of very strong importance. I'm saying this is you. I think you are someone, I feel that you are someone who is naturally kind, generous, warm, productive, caring. Okay? If that was you then, that can be you again. All right? You have a lot to offer the world. That's what the Empress is, by the way. The life bringer, the life force. We bring unto the world. We don't just receive. You bring unto the world. You have a lot to offer. Know your worth. Remember your worth. And if you do, you understand that these cycles are normal, they're natural, they're inevitable, and often meant to be. Okay? The Hierophant is exiting. That is your power card. That's also your spirit acknowledging your commitment and or contract to something is over. So the Hierophant often gets relegated to that word commitment, and he's just kind of stuck there with that one word label. Unfortunately, most of the cards have that one word label, which is unfortunate. That's what human beings do. We like to filter things down, give me the simplest version as possible. The Hierophant, ideally, is the higher self. This is what I stand up for, i.e., where we get commitment. Okay, this is what I stand up for. These are my agendas. These are my rule books. This is what I believe in. And that's also where you get your ID tag of stubborn. Well, this is what I believe in. Non-negotiable, non-flexible, don't even know. I mean, you can ask. We can all ask. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you anything. That doesn't mean I'm going to say yes or no. But yeah, you can ask. And Taurus is the biggest fan of, you can ask. I'm sorry, your sign to this day still gives me a chuckle because it's so blunt. It is so blunt, and I appreciate that though, because but it still gives me a chuckle. I'm not gonna lie. The bluntness of some people's energy is just like, it is what it is, and it makes me chuckle. I'm sorry, sue me. I mean, just what are you gonna do? No, but the Hierophant, your higher self, your sense of commitment, obligation has waned. It's exiting, it's passing out of your life as it relates to this cycle that's now closing. Okay. And the fact that you're already opening up from the heart and you're wanting to explore other subjects suggests that perhaps you're more prepared for this than maybe you realize at the forefront. Okay. Page of Pentacles before you in the future. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it kind of is. If you're thinking about new investments, the Page of Pentacles is the most realistic of the pages. Has a lot of room to grow. Okay. So in some way, you're thinking about putting yourself into something that's new. Anything. I don't know. It's up to you. Perhaps we'll poke around and find out. But I like how you are recognizing from your spirit that you can let this go. You're no longer contracted to it. It's no longer yours. You're untying yourself from it. You're unimprinting yourself from it. Okay. I like that you're acknowledging that. But that you still have a very strong idea of who you are and that you will continue to be this person. All right? Okay. Your strengths, Ace of Pentacles. Yay! No, that's Taurus too. Absolutely. That is indeed your strengths. You, above all, should know a good investment when you see one. So when the right thing comes along for you, and that's in your immediate future, by the way, when it's time to make that investment, you will. You'll know what it is. You won't hesitate. You're just like, that's a good one. And whatever that is to you, it will begin to take shape. I have no doubt. Two of Pentacles in your environment. Yeah. Things are changing, but they have been changing for a while. Two of Pentacles also represents time. Most of it is time lost in doing this. Back and forth, back and forth. Doing this, a lot of time falls through the gaps of juggling the coin. You understand? So, Two of Pentacles, for that reason, is one of my least favorites, just because it represents, in that insistence of I don't know, we lose so much time. A lot of time was lost in your environment in terms of what we're going to do with it, the structure of it, the division of it, what stays, what goes. I don't know, and it kind of just gets drug out. So your environment, no matter how slow, it was already changing anyway. Okay, so what it is that we lose in that process, perhaps treat it like a write-off. All right? You're up for new. Prove it. Prove it. Try not to get bogged down in the details of your changing environment. Don't neglect what should be made of importance, of course. But also know when to let things go. Don't question it too deeply or for too long. All right? Be willing to part ways with some things in your shifting environment. It'll make your process easier. It will also help diminish this idea of a lingering concept of, do I have to accept this? Okay? It'll help diminish that. All right. The Eight of Pentacles and the hopes and fears. You know, when it comes to earth signs, you guys will show me pentacle for all sorts of reasons and all sorts of things. For some of you, this literally means work. Is work okay? I hope it is. I'm afraid it isn't. I mean, like literal work. For others of you, it represents the actual logistics of what's going on here and whatever this cycle is that's shutting out. I hope that this will shut down fluidly, simply, smoothly. I'm afraid it won't. Okay? How you use that is up to you. Again, this could literally be a separate issue that is work function. Okay? I hope work's okay. I'm afraid it may not be, but I think it's in the greater context of what you're experiencing here. In terms of the basics, logistics, and shutting this down, again, we hope it's productive and smooth. We're afraid it may not be. Okay. King of Pentacles, you, once more in the outcome, you are riding high on this one. Your energy's all over this, and you are you at the end of the day, an outcome. I told you, you are still an empowered person. You are still resourceful. You are still reliable. You have so much in that sense of contribution attached to you. There's so much you have yet to do and achieve, and you have not lost sight of this. You know, in the end, you still sit upon your throne quite comfortable and relaxed in who you are. You will succeed in the end because you simply must. Okay? So whatever this cycle is that's closing out, it's supposed to. Besides, how else were we supposed to get these other things started, right? Speaking of which, I'm very curious about that. Again, once more, earth signs, for those who are not familiar with it, they can put anything in that pentacle. Your sense of emotion is in there. Your mentality is in there. Your spiritual self can be in there as well. Again, time, energy, and effort. Whatever it is that you perceive as being worthy is what you do. So that means all sorts of stuff can be in there. Okay? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. Of course, it made me chuckle. That. Oh, you're like, I know. He's so cheeky sometimes. I love it. Oh, I love it. The Emperor, the Lovers are like, I know. Duh. I did. You said it yourself, Cheryl Lady. I know what a good investment is. Oh, Elf. The Elf didn't make it. No, I caused his demise by being dramatic. I'm sorry, Elf. I'm sorry. I'll retrieve you. Okay, I'll retrieve you. I'll get you. All right, let me get the Elf. I feel bad now. Okay. Come on. You get back. I just knew it. Okay. There you go. All right. We're good? We're good. All right. The Emperor with the Lovers. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I know what a good investment is. Oh boy. Look at how your energy came out for that. That's a hell of a stamp. That was quite strong. Wow. Yeah, I know. You do. And I will point out the Emperor and the Empress are here. All right. And those two are always seeking each other. They're equals. All right. Divine equals. Beautiful. Okay. It's like, what's your new investment? What's in that pentacle? You're like, I know. That's great. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, no. I was looking over there at your sense of higher self and what it is you did stand up for, what was exiting, and the Five of Cups dropped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But Page of Swords, King of Pentacles, I'm sorry. That whatever that is that's exiting made you feel diminished. King of Pentacles should not feel like this. Diminished. Diminished in value, reduced in size. It did not give you much room for you to be you. Okay? I said you are still you, though, in the outcome. But that version of you that felt diminished and that you didn't know what you were standing up for anymore, that's going bye-bye. All right? Last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. Okay, that's fair. And that's always a good thing to do as well. Absolutely. We're never really done with that. You know, but work through your feelings. And I see part of you is doing that as well, but also your willingness to open up and feel other things too. Okay, so again, last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind and believe in your good luck. First quarter moon in Sag. Beautiful. Divine timings at play. Here we see the intricacies of the cuckoo clock and how all the parts, they all serve a purpose. They all serve a role. And it might seem like the passing of time is so elaborate and how does any of this make sense? And yet somehow it works. Timing is timing is timing. Number 37. There's that Lovers again. The tulips. Oh, courtship. Well, you're not going to be idling too long, I dare say. Oh, we're going to send out some flowers quick. Yeah. I don't know about quick, but I do know this. I know a Taurus who knows an investment, and I know a Taurus when they've made up their mind too. There's really no stopping you, honey. It's one of your superpowers. Like I said, I know Taurus is literally under your strengths too. He's like, I know a good investment when I see it. Yeah. You know what you're doing next. Let's put it that way. Wow, look at that. The courtship with the tulips. Again, the Lovers. So that's lovely. I'm going to do some courting. Oh, I love it. Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's do it. It's like, did I do it? Yeah, we're there. What's interesting to me is that obviously I'm seeing a sped up version of what you've been experiencing. None of this is going to happen over the course of a week. This probably for many of you took months, seasons, if not years of your life. And I think you started to see whatever this was start to close out first in your environment, right? And that when you're right there in front of it, it's not always obvious. So I'm catching you up to where you are, already hitting apex, and then on the other side of this, most of this is future orientation. So it's, I'm just happy that you're getting to where you need to be, honey, and that's what's important. We have the letter S and Z. That may or may not mean anything to you. We have the spider and the upright. You will be building a new web. Spider is positive in this respect, in that we build our own webs, and they're beautiful. They serve a purpose. You have an extensive web, I have no doubt, with lots of goals and energy to collect and things like this. We have the medallion of Leo as well as Aquarius, both in reverse, the key word here being generous as well as friendly. You might have some critical placements in your chart. Their seasons might be important. And then we have the Pegasus in reverse. And as soon as I saw that, I knew what it was related to. Your spirit for this has left, or it has no more room to exercise or want to show up for that. Okay? The Pegasus is a very special spirit that says, I'm free to fly. And there's that part of you that would no longer go in that direction or actively choose it or seek it. You know? I understand. All right, Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please? Show me, Virgo. What's going on, please, for Virgo? What's up? What's going on for Virgo, please? The Chariot, crossing the Four of Wands. Oh, yes. The Hermit, that's you. Crowning. Past the Sun. Exiting Page of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles before you. Strengths, the Empress, good. Your environment, the Three of Swords, not so good. Hopes and fears, Nine of Wands, the outcome, the Seven of Swords. That's interesting. You open up with such a woomph of energy. It punches really hard with the Chariot there, but then what's crossing is the Four of Wands. I see you rushing, at least from the heart, towards something you've identified as a relationship, but you're saying you don't feel comfortable completing the journey. You don't feel comfortable accelerating toward it. You don't, something there's in question. Now, Four of Wands is a relationship of how two people build into it. That's it. The labels aside, it's how two people build it and they recognize it as some sort of relationship. So there's something here you feel compelled to towards the heart, and you might even call it a relationship, but you won't allow yourself to completely access it or go towards it, at least not at this time. What's crowning you is you, the Hermit. You're saying right now, you're trying to focus on this idea of experience, wisdom, insight, and healing to give you an idea if you're supposed to, if that's what you're really feeling. Is this what you really want to do? Do I want to continue to move towards this relationship? Do I want to accelerate towards it? Do I want to put pedal to the metal? What are we doing here, Virgo? Right? That's what you're saying. You're asking yourself this. What are we doing? Do we want to go towards this or not? Am I really feeling this or not? Is this where the strength of my heart lies or not? So you look into yourself first and foremost to give yourself permission. Is this what we really want to do? Do we want to head in that direction? Okay. In your past is the Sun. Now, that doesn't mean it's over. That means you've experienced the Sun in the past. Happiness, as it relates to what's on your mind, and it's this relationship. You said you felt joy with it. You have felt the Sun. You have felt the elements of warmth with it. It gave you pleasures, both big and small. It made you feel warm on the inside and on the outside, and it made you radiate with simple joys at many times. And you think about that, and you feel that past experience, and how can you relate to it today, and do you still feel the same way? So you're taking all of this in. Do I still feel about this the same way? Why do I still feel the need to go towards this? Why do I still feel like my heart's being pulled in this direction? I can remember happiness with this relationship. I can feel it distinctly. What does that say about me? So you're trying to learn from all this, and I want to see why you're building into this. Because you are. The way you process it, the way you think about it suggests you're doing this for a reason, right? Page of Pentacles is in the exit. Now, we haven't, this is what's curious about you. You haven't invested in this in a while. Page of Pentacles, right? One of your pages. You haven't invested in this in a while, so it's a lot of contemplation, a lot of feeling your feelings. But you haven't made any new investments either. That's exited. But we haven't invested in this situation in a while either. That's also seems to have exited. It's so minuscule. Not much was put into it, or it's been a very long time, you know. But Three of Pentacles before you future. So what changes that? I don't know. I don't know. You went from not much to Three of Pentacles. Maybe I start here. So there's an idea here of starting somewhere. Three of Pentacles. And again, with that earthing energy, you guys can put a lot in there. It's not always just work. But from here, you're like from a kind of constructive model, if you will. You got to start somewhere, realistically speaking. And there's friendliness in here. There's cooperation. It's in your immediate future. I think you're trying to find a workable stance between yourself and someone else. The person who has you feeling these things and thinking these things is obviously going to be my first guess. You know. And you admit it's been a while since you put anything in it, and perhaps you really thought you had nothing left to give it. But then I asked you, why are you still thinking about it then? Why do you still feel driven towards it, compelled towards it? And that gives you a lot to think about in and of itself. I don't know how long you've been contemplating it. And I don't know, you went from, I'm not giving it anything, to here's something. We'll get some advice. We'll see. But then over here, the Empress, that tends to be your nature anyway. It's under your strengths. Generous, loving, caring, productive. If that's true for you, for the Virgo I'm looking at, then a Three of Pentacles isn't very much to you. If you want to build into this, even if it's at the friendly level, you can. Or you would choose to. I can only see what's here, not what isn't. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. The fact that I'm seeing for this for you in the near future suggests some level of cooperation is being returned. Okay? So the expectations aren't too high. I don't see you rushing in there with your heart, but I do know the part of you that feels you want to give something towards this from a good place in you, from good intentions, would like to. Three of Swords is in your environment. That's concerning. There is fear of rejection in there. There's pain in there. I don't like that. I don't know what in your environment is ailing you, but I don't care for it. There's a sense of rejection in your intimate spaces, rejection in your emotional spaces. I don't like that. Okay. So am I surprised then if that's true, if perhaps you're feeling a little bit, I don't know, if it's outright rejection. It could be that you're feeling simply very lonely right now, or I hope that's not the case. But there's a sense here that your heart does not feel satisfied. And that might be why you think about this connection quite a bit, because you last remember it or identify it as being happy, warm, and that your heart would still rush towards it, and you contemplate that. That's got to mean something. And it does. I think you are personally seeking out ways where you can counter what it is that you feel in your environment with the Three of Swords you'd like to. Okay? Hopes and fears, Nine of Wands. We are afraid that we'll be rejected. We'll be afraid, or we are afraid that we'll get in our own way. We hope that's not the case. You know? Hopes and fears, by the way, guarantee nothing. It's just a reflection of who we are as people. Seven of Swords in the outcome. There's something here we're avoiding. Will it be like that forever? No. No. It's just your outcome for now. And even then, that's the one that's most likely to change, and therefore the one I'm least likely to trust. So what it is we're avoiding and the outcome, I don't quite know. Let's get some advice for you. Let's see that Seven of Swords. I'm sorry, I'm just going to do a direct ask. I want to know what it is. What is it we're avoiding, please? Let's see that Seven of Swords. Let's see that Seven of Swords. Ace of Wands, Six of Wands. Okay, we're trying not to look too interested or eager. I see. Again, I can only see what's here, not what isn't. In the Seven of, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's kind of strategic on your part. Seven of Swords is active avoidance. It's kind of like saying, I'm choosing to edit this, but it's in my head. There's some things I'm trying not to convey or show. And that's what you're trying to, it's like you've made a conscious decision here to not show excitement, to not show hope or passion or a sense of triumph. In other words, you don't want to look too eager. Keep a poker face, if you will. Try not to act cold and detached. But don't look too eager. Don't let this run away with ourselves. We don't want to get our hopes too high. We don't want to seem too passionate or attentive to this for the wrong reasons, something like that. So we feel very strongly about this then. So if we're having to tell ourselves to do the opposite, right, then the base is true. That means you actually are very interested in this. It very much captivates your attention. It very much captivates your energy. And you're like, I can't show that. Or I shouldn't show that. Are you showing me a moral decision? I shouldn't show that? We got to keep it friendly, remember? It's just the moon. Oh. How you really feel? How you would really take action towards this is the moon. It's it's my business. It's not yours. It's my secret. But it satisfies you deeply with the Nine of Cups. Well, of course it did. The last time you connected with it, you even said so yourself. It made you freaking happy. But you're saying this can't know that. Oh, God forbid this know our real feelings. Honey, you've been sitting with them for I don't know how long. And you yourself contemplate why your heart would still go towards it. By all means, I'm fine with keeping secrets, guys. Just don't keep them from yourselves. You can't have an active moon. That means when you are consciously aware of something and you choose to keep it to you. Okay. And even then, eventually, if you want to connect with someone in a real way, you're going to have to be honest. Eventually. But until then, if you still feel the need to keep things to yourself, just don't keep them from you. Because that's when we cause problems. Self-sabotaging tendencies specifically. This gives you a deeply, deeply personal pleasure to connect with this, even if it's in a friendly way. But you still are showing me I kind of can't show excitement. I can't show hope. Okay, maybe that's a short-term thing, but it's not going to work in the long term. You do have deeper feeling for this, and you are naturally attracted to it. Okay, so just be honest with yourself about that. Otherwise, we create fragments and splinters, and then they deepen. And there might come a time where you're like, I was hoping you and I could get along or connect or something, because ever since we have, it's just wanted you to know I feel this and that and the other. And that comes through in time. But it seems to be now to start with the Three of Pentacles. And I see things like this for you all the time. It's kind of like Virgo's motto, start with the basics, That's very Virgo. And I agree with you, you got to start somewhere. And by all means, play your cards close to your chest, no pun intended. Just don't keep secrets from you. Be aware that you're wanting to connect with this because you still feel strongly about it. Be aware you want to connect with it because the last time you did, it made you feel joy. And that you have contemplated all these things deeply for yourself. Okay? All right. There's a concern here about the falseness of one's actions. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Keep your secrets, just don't keep them from you. And no, I don't think it's enough here to cause you concern. I think what happens, what I'm seeing here is that you still feel this at your own time, at your own personal way. And you want to pull it into reality to see if what you feel is still framing correctly. I don't think that means you're a bad person. I just think you want to know in reality if these feelings still check out. So that's why you're showing me active suppression on your deeper feelings. Because reality, once you connect with it, because you even told me it's been a while. Connecting with it in reality, you might find that it's different. It feels different. I think this is, you're showing me your need to find out. You don't want to be a liar. You don't want to be a bullshitter. You don't want to be full of shit, right? That's a concern. You don't want to come across as false. But you do want to know if reality checks out. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. There you go. If there comes a time for more dialogue and honesty, then so be it. Cross that bridge when you get to it, right? The mature man. Something tells me that you know better. Yeah, that you know these things. You kind of know what I'm talking about, right? You want to know what I'm talking about. Time has passed. You want to know if you still feel the same way, but you don't want to deliver false pretenses either. Okay. Okay. Whew, God, I felt the tenseness on that one. 8, 33, and 5. Oh, boy. It's the fact that you're showing me 7 of Swords and I clarified it tells me that you did connect with this. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to suppress your thoughts. Okay. 2 plus 2, darling. New Moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. Told you. Okay. I don't mean to be I told you so, but yeah. If the shoe fits. Okie dokie, artichoke. We have the... I'm getting really sick of seeing Q. Honestly. Do you see how much is in here? What's up with Qs? It either means something to you or it doesn't. I'm sorry, I just had a little Scorpio moment. All right. All right, we have the medallions here of Gemini and Aquarius, both in reverse. Keywords being intelligent and friendly. Some of you might have some very strong air in your chart. And then we have the medallion of Scorpio in the upright. You could be connecting to any of these signs. Their season might be important. Okay. All right, Virgo honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please? Let's see that Capricorn collective. Show me. Oh, back up. Hold on. 3 of Wands. Anxiously waiting for some of you. What's going on? Show me that Capricorn collective. What is going on? Show me that Capricorn collective. 10 of Wands. Crossing the devil. That's you. 6 of Wands crowning. Cappy. Past 7 of Swords. Exiting Page of Cups. That's not too bad. Before you, 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Strengths of the world. Oh. Huh. That's interesting that you say that. The environment. Chariot. Okay. 5 of Cups. Hopes and fears. Outcome, the 4 of Cups. Honey, I don't know what this is, but it's not suited to you. It really isn't. And the reason I raise such a large eyebrow in that world is someone who says their strength is recognizing when doors should close and open. You've shown me the contrary. Okay. So whatever this is represents a cycle that's very hard for you to let go of. 10 of Wands, this is a burden too. It's heavy, but you're also saying, yeah, but it's mine. You are in your own way here. Literally you. Okay, that's your power card. And it's crossing you in the 10 of Wands. It's saying whatever this is heavy. I accept that. I'm going to carry this endlessly. I don't know what this is to you, but you're so used to it, you won't even really allow yourself to question it. In fact, for many of you, it's a place of pride. 6 of Wands. I'm happy with how heavy this is. I am confident I can carry this indefinitely until the world ends, and I don't know what that is to you. Like I said, you're so used to it, you don't even question it. It's almost like saying this is proudly mine. This is proudly my burden. This is proudly my obligation. This is proudly my stress. This is proudly my strain. In a way, whatever this is, you sustaining this carries your ego too. So the 6 of Wands here is in a negative position. Okay. And its location compared to the other cards surrounding it. Once more, I'm not picking on you. Okay. It either resonates or it doesn't. I read what's here, not what isn't. All right. So whatever this is stresses you out. It's your hardship. You're saying it's mine. I wouldn't do it any other way. In fact, you're like, I kind of get a kick off of it too with the Six of Wands. You're very proud to carry this. And Seven of Swords is in your past. Now, the past doesn't mean it's over. That means you've experienced it in the past. You could do in the present. Seven of Swords, you have a tendency to avoid things if you want to. Okay? If you really want to mentally clear yourself of something, check out from it, not acknowledge it, you can and you will. I see that. What's exiting Page of Cups, that's not really up for discussion. You know, how your feelings have changed or exited, you won't even look at that. It's not even a big deal to you. Five of Pentacles before you in future. There's a very strong fear here that this is going to break you, or eventually the situation's going to end. And maybe it should. Because you carrying this makes you immensely unhappy, but then you turn around and say you wouldn't have it any other way. It's almost like you're addicted to it. You're addicted to the heaviness, the responsibility. And like I said, you almost get a weird boost from it. Like, see how much it can carry? I can break my own back with it. It's almost like you're proud of it. So be careful with that. All cards. And I know, Devil, right up there with Death. Hi, Scorpio. Hi, Capricorn. One of the two most misunderstood signs. I get you. I'm happy to point out to you that not all power cards are automatically positive and automatically negative, right? The Chariot gets a lot of glory. The Devil, not so much. Everything just in life, just like in life, reflects nature. Pros and cons, black and white. Superpowers and kryptonite. You have as many pros as you do cons. You do. I promise you do. Okay? Your tenacity, some would call it audacity or audacity. Tomato. You know, your willingness to persist where others would fail or give up or collapse. I mean, these are all Devil pros. Okay? But they can just as easily be used against us. All right? That's where we get that sense of obsession. I won't give up. I won't. You can't make me. And that's when your superpower can become your kryptonite, especially if your ego's involved. Now, again, ego is not one of these dirty little words. At least it's not supposed to be when you know what it actually means. Ego is healthy. It keeps you alive. And like all things in nature, there is healthy and unhealthy, pro and con. You're showing me unhealthy ego. This, whatever this is, you sustaining it is part of your obsession. It's like it keeps me alive. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It keeps you feeling trapped and unhappy. But there's a part of you that can't see this or won't admit it. And even though I'm seeing breakage here, it just represents more loss of time, energy, and effort. I don't actually see you parting ways with this. In fact, you're terrified to do it. Okay? But whatever this is, does not feed you well. I don't know what it is, guys. Circumstance, situation, work, a goal, a person. I don't know. But it does not look good on you at all. You ever had like a real friend? I mean a real friend, the kind that you can have real conversations with. That's the real friend I'm talking about. A real friend, excuse me, my lisp is kicking in hard because it's tired. I'm tired. It's the end of the day. A real friend will get real with you. Okay? No one else would talk to you except that person. So right now, it's like, Capricorn, honey, you're my real friend. And as your real friend, I'm obligated to tell you what you're wearing is butt ugly. It is not flattering you. It's bringing out all your worst characteristics. And for some reason, you spent $500 on it and you're proud about it. Why did you do that? It's full of holes, rips, tears. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And now you're showing off your $500 outfit that looks like we just got it out of the trash. What's going on here? Okay? That's whatever this is. I don't want you to keep wearing that outfit and being proud of it. I want you to repackage that thing take the receipt and throw it back at the clerk who sold it to you and say, I want my refund. But in real life, we can't actually get our time, energy, and effort back in many ways. Okay? So be aware of that. We continue to pay the interest on these things. Spiritually, karmically, emotionally, mentally. Okay? We're going to pay the bill at the end of the day. The world is in your strengths, which again kind of gave me a because that suggests then that as a person of intelligence, you've been in the world, you've observed the world, okay? That you know things are supposed to close just as much as they are to open. I don't know how you can open up into anything when you are still carrying this. So if that's your strength, if you really consider that a strength, the world, and that's a good one too, that's a dang good one, I challenge you to use it. Maybe it's been a while since you accessed that strength. Maybe you're out of touch with your world strength. I don't know. But it seems to me, whatever this is, we need to stop taking pride in it and stop avoiding it and stop carrying it like it's just ours and only ours. No, it's not. You're not supposed to carry this. The Chariot's in your environment. You crave moving forward. You do. Your heart's restless. And I can see why. You're upset. Like I said, I don't know how you can engage with new when you have yet to close this out. But your heart, my dear, is restless. The Chariot is so much more powerful. You would show a swifter motion towards something else, anything else. And a fierceness too. But you insist on hanging back in this and engaging with this, whatever it is. You never really actually pointed out to me what it is exactly. I want that environment for you, where you swiftly move forward, strongly, proudly move forward into something else more positive. 5 of Cups and the hopes and fears, and the outcome is the 4 of Cups. Not great. What you are afraid of is what's happening. That you're miserable or upset, and you'll always be that way. Hopes and fears is a guarantee of nothing, by the way. It's not an outcome. It's simply what it sounds like, hopes and fears. I hope to feel better. I'm afraid I won't. 4 of Cups is your outcome. That suggests your fear is coming true. That you're upset and you'll always be upset. Or you're disappointed and you'll always be disappointed. Specifically by emotions of the past. There's something here from the past you don't want to let go of. And we need to. Otherwise, how is your Chariot ever supposed to move forward? How are you supposed to engage with new cycles? There's something here you carry, and it makes you miserable. I would challenge you to push back on that world a little more. I don't want that for you. I don't want this for anybody. You think I enjoy this? Of course I don't. But I'm here to show this to whoever needs to see it. It's got your particular signature on it, you know. I want you to let this go, honey, like a bad project that it is. It's no good for you. It's no good for you, and I think you know that. You know. Let's get some advice for you. Let's get some advice, please. Five of Wands, King of Swords, the Tower. Wow. It's almost like I'm refusing to change, or I refuse to acknowledge this. There's something here we refuse to receive insight on, and it's done. It's been done. It's been done. But it's almost like you're glaring that tower in the eye, and it's like, how dare you? How dare you challenge my thinking? Or how dare you try to change my world? I refuse to accept this. To be clear, whatever that is has already happened. You acknowledging it and allowing it to affect you, that's what you're resisting. I said, something that's already happened, you refuse to accept it and you carry it like it's yours, like it's your job, your title. It's not. It's not. Man, staring that tower in the face and being like, fuck you. I refuse to learn from you, and I refuse to let this impact my life. How dare you? That means I'd have to change. That means I'd have to accept this cycle, and I refuse to accept that cycle. I won't do it. So why do you see it as a strength then? Justice. 8 of Wands, 3 of Swords. Because you do believe one day you will receive some sort of justification in communication about if somebody's going to finally recognize your heart space and how much it hurt. You say it's what to do you. It's what owed you. So you might really believe in things changing and ending, but you refusing to let what harmed you go because you think it owes you. It's like, yeah, I'm glad it ended. I'm glad. But this upset me, and I've carried it since, and I will not be at peace. I will not move forward until this acknowledges my pain in some way. This is where I tell people all the time, we give ourselves closure, not the thing or the person that hurt us. And I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. How long are you supposed to wait? That's the debt I'm talking about. Something or someone else might have harmed you, hurts you, never apologized. So what happens if they never will? So take them out of the equation. What's left is you. They might have racked up the bill. You're the one who's going to have to pay the bill if you do not learn to console yourself. If you do not learn to give yourself closure, healing, permission to let this go and mean it. You're holding out for a cause at your own cost. I don't care if you curse this person to the next world and back. I don't care. I don't care. Just don't take yourself with it. I don't know what it is that harmed you, honey, but if you're holding out for a justification and communication one day that recognizes your pain, I promise you they're not waiting back. They're not anxiously waiting. They don't have the phone in hand and the old-fashioned dial hesitating over your number every day. They're not doing that. Okay. They might have started it, but you're the one who has to end it. We have to hold ourselves responsible for what others fail to do. Do what they can't. Give yourself peace on this. Closure on this. I'm not saying forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very personal choice. I would never do that. Forgiveness if it's right for you. Forgiveness if it gives you peace. What I'm saying is give yourself closure on this. Because the fact that you are adamantly, I refuse to, no. I refuse to move on or move on. No. You're hurting yourself. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. That's not why I'm here. Oh, Capricorn. Yeah. No, absolutely. You're upset, man. They pissed you off, bro. They pissed you off, sis. You go ahead and sit there and stew in that for years. They'll come back around. They'll say they're sorry in time. And in the meantime, you completely miss out on life and continue to feel like angry shit every day. That's not why I'm here, guys. Are you worth apology? Yes, you are absolutely worth having an apology too. Are you worth someone crying over you for what they did? Absolutely. Are you worth someone feeling bad about themselves because of what they did to you? Absolutely. What makes you think you're going to be given that? Has it come through so far? The answer is no. You're worth an apology, honey. You're also worth love. You're also worth being open to life. You are so much bigger than that which you've been holding on to, which as far as I can tell is shards of glass. And all you're doing is cutting yourself by holding on to it. Okay. I know you want adjudication, baby. I know you want fairness, so give it to yourself and say, I will not give this any more of my life than it already has taken or that I have allowed it to take. Set boundaries for yourself first. I know you want fairness, so give it to you. You worked so hard for that love. I'm the one who has to carry the labor of this feeling. No, you don't. You really don't. Those are your venomous thoughts talking. You really don't. You can't give this up. It takes a concentrated effort to do so. I know you want this person to be sorry, and I know you want them to cry in front of you and maybe even pick a fight with you so you had a reason to be angry with them in front of their face. I know. But what more could they possibly say? I'm sorry? Mm-hmm. But if you didn't want to accept the apology and you didn't want to move on from it, it still wouldn't help you. You know? Oh man, it got really real for you today. I hate saying this. I really do. I really do. Capricorn, honey, I don't know that I will see this for you at the next check-in. I hope not. But if I do, hopefully I see some sort sense of lightning and progress. I would like to see that for you. I really, really would. Okay, but I am sorry. If this one's not yours, then it's not yours. That is that simple. Check your other placements. That's it. That's all she wrote. Okay? No need to be tragically disappointed for a reading that's not yours. That's what happens when you assume the responsibility because you say it's Capricorn, it must be mine. No. Again, it's either yours or it's not. But real respect's real, and I'm trying to give you some realness today, and that's for those who need it. That's who this message is intended for. That's it. New moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. Understand your higher purpose. It goes well beyond this. It goes so beyond this, it's not even funny. All right, that's enough of that. We have the letters T, C, Y. We have the crescent moon. The next time of the crescent moon might be important to some of you. We have the medallion of Pisces as well as Libra. You might have any of these strong placements in your chart. Could have been connecting to one as well. Capricorn, honey, whatever you think of this, however it is you relate to it or don't, even if you stuck around, I do hope it helped. You put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on, please, for Scorpio? Show me that Scorpio collective. What is going on? Let's see, Scorpio, please. Okay. Nine of, you hold on, I'm getting to you. Nine of Pentacles, you crossing, death. Okay. Six of Pentacles, crowning. Okay, Queen of Swords is in the past. Exiting, the Hierophant. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Taurus had the same placement, same card, same placement. Before you in future, Temperance. Okay. The Sun is in your strengths. Beautiful. King of Pentacles is in your environment. Hopes and fears, the Lovers. The outcome is the Queen of Cups. You're going to be okay. You personally, literally you, undergoing transformative qualities, and you're actually all for it. Nine of Pentacles is in your opening. Straight away, you're like, me, that's me, right? Individuation, can-do, attitude, experience. I can stand on my own 2 feet. Thank you very much. And how you are identifying these days is changing, shifting a little bit. I don't know that it's leaps and bounds, but it's enough that you can kind of see yourself differently today than perhaps you did in the past, which really wasn't too long ago. But you're all for it. You're just like, I'm changing a little bit more every day, and I love it. You know, you're showing me active transformation. It's not a lot at one time. It's just enough for you to be happy by the changes. You're like, I'm feeling a little bit more me these days, but I'm also kind of realigning with who I am, and I'm redefining that, and it feels good. You're like, it feels good. I'm all for it. You're like, a Six of Pentacles is crowning. Everything's in order, so I'm not worried about it. I'm keeping my balances in place, my day-to-day activities. You're like, it's all good. What I do on the daily is all good. Everything's balanced. I'm cool. So you're like, I'm in a good place. It's like, since everything's kind of in a maintenance and or resting position, everything's squared up or squared away, you're like, I can afford a little transformation. I don't quite know. But you have been a little bit changing here and there. You know, seeing yourself differently here and there, strengthening yourself up here and there in different ways. And again, it doesn't feel like a lot. I think it's just enough for you to feel more strengthened in the world, okay? More experienced and just a stronger sense of this is what makes me me. And I know it's terribly vague, but you say you're all for it and you're good and that you're happy to be there and you're like learning new things about yourself. It's lending to your experience once more. Queen of Swords is in your past. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means you've experienced it before and you can again in the present as well as in the future orientation too. But the Queen of Swords, your kind of bedrock for who you are though, is saying, normally I'm someone who identifies as being smart, intelligent, intellectual. You know, I'm a thinker, I'm a doer. It's a process for which you're comfortable with, but also above all, kind of the determined mindset. You're saying how I identify is once I put my mind to something, I'll do it. It's unfortunate the King and Queen of Swords get such a bad rap in tarot, and I don't know why. They're highly emphematic, but most of all, they show a strength of mind. It's like once I set my mind upon this course of action, I'm going to do it. So some of you, not too long ago in your past experience, decided to kind of transform yourself here and there along the way. You know, try not to be so closed off. Be open to things. Be open to changes. See how you perceive yourself and experience the world, etc. Like I said, it's all vague, but it's all good stuff. You welcome it. Now, this is what's interesting for me here is the Hierophant is on the exit. Now, that could be, in the metaphor of what I'm seeing here today, your kind of commitment to yourself, how you've always perceived yourself, is changing. Perhaps you're learning to see yourself as a more flexible person. That could be it as well. Okay? It could be that in the very generic sense, some sort of commitment for you is on the exit. And that commitment is anything. Unfortunately, the Hierophant is relegated to that one-word category, and I don't know why. He represents or she represents the higher self, and that means having an agenda. That means someone who stands by their own particular code or index, right? This is someone who has a kind of point of view. This is how it must be, right? A layout, a design, and we stick to it. That's where the commitment piece comes in. And given the transformation principle I've seen over you as an individual, and you're saying everything else in your life is cool, you've made some good, solid decisions for yourself in the past, it's almost like you're saying, part of my higher self is recognizing that I'm changing and that I'm inviting change into my life. And that means being more flexible, maybe, giving up my old thinking about myself, my old agenda, you know. I need to realize I'm a changing human being every day, all day. I'm subject to change, growth, and experience just like anyone else. Let's do it. So that is, in and of itself, going to require more flexibility, especially if you have a determined focus or mindset or skill set attached to you. You know, it's once I've made up my mind, I got to do it. And some of you have decided to be more inclusive, okay, of your own goals and desires and things like that. I understand. So yeah, some of you simply, that Hierophant exiting represents a part of yourself where you no longer feel inclined to approach your life or activities, or you're feeling the same way every day, all day. You're like, I want to become more flexible. I want to learn more about myself. Maybe my higher self could do with some shifting and changing too, you know? Or like I said, for those of you whom it resonates, some area of your commitment, your committed self is exiting. What shape that takes, I don't know. That's up to you. Okay. But either way, you're good. You're good. It's still a part of your acknowledging how you yourself are changing and focusing, and that you're okay with that. You're in a good place. You really are. Temperance is before you in future. You're showing me such a calm sense of, I like where I'm at. I like adding to myself. I like learning new things about myself. I'm open to my own journey, but there's no rush to it. I like that. That's good. I really do. You're showing me temperance, passion, compassion, and healing for yourself. And that you enjoy the process. And it can get difficult, guys. It can get so difficult when we involve temperance because it's an ongoing process. It never really stops, and it takes a lot of time. It means the consolidation of very difficult feelings. So on the outside, it looks peaceful and lovely and calm. And isn't that nice? Temperance. I give it a chuckle because I know what it means. It's the consolidation of very difficult feelings. And that takes time. And that means the willingness to be open to the results, right? That can't be easy. And then us absorbing that truth, learning from it, living through it, adopting it, and allowing ourselves to change. So like I said, you're learning new things about yourself all the time, and it strengthens you. All right. So I'm interpreting then this Hierophant as a spiritual piece of you that says, I want to change. I'm learning to become more flexible because I'm willing to do the work. And you know what? I make progress. And I like what I'm transforming into. It's little pieces here and there. It's not the whole thing at one time. But you're making great progress. Excellent. Very proud of you. Very good. Strength's the sun. Heck yeah. I know what it is to be happy. That is a strength. And it is a strength, guys. You know, it's... The sun is such a simple element. That's why I always compare it to the star. You know, you walk outside your front door, boom, you're under the sun. It's a choice to be happy. And that means knowing when and where and how to stop and appreciate the little things. You know, thank the universe for your abundance and what you have in your life. And in that moment, you can find happiness. It doesn't take too much. Sometimes the sun is a very active element of happiness. This makes me happy or that makes me happy. And we live that or we try to live that. So it's always good to know what makes you happy. But I like that you consider it a strength because that means, or that tells me you appreciate the small things. Yeah, me too. I'm all about the small things because they can really add up against a shitty day. You know, it's like this day was so hard. But then there was that one thing. I was like, okay, that one thing. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so maybe this day wasn't so bad. And then sometimes you can have brilliant sunshiny days and they're just glorious. So you just know what it is that makes you happy. Be they big, be they small, but that's a beautiful strength to have. King of Pentacles in your environment. Heck yeah. I love that. You're like, I'm solid though. I'm pretty solid. I love it. You have a strong appreciation for your grounding principles, such as providing a home and income, stability, resourcefulness, reliability, boss, jefe, however you want to put it. You're like, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. And I'm pretty good with my home and my finances. Thank you. I'm pretty good there. But it's also about caring and understanding one's self-worth and being kind and generous, that kind of thing. It's all in there in your home, and that's a beautiful home to have. So congratulations to you. I love it. The Lovers is in your hopes and fears. Oh, the big kahuna. Now, that's interesting. I think you might be one of the first people to show me the Lovers in any sort of hope and fear category. And I don't want to say if at all, but perhaps in a long time. You're like, Christina, I kind of want a strong connection, but I'm afraid of it at the same time. I know. The Lovers connection can be very intense, and a lot of people don't like messing with it for that reason. I'll take a simple 2 of Cups, please. Okay? When people go looking for love, sometimes it's like going through a drive-thru. They're just like, I want the simplest thing on the menu. I don't want it to be complicated. I want to dress it up my way. Thank you very much. I don't want any strong, I don't want to mess with that. Because those strong connections can drive you fucking crazy. And they take you to some very intense places. They really can. If you've ever had one, you know what I'm talking about. If you've yet to have a lover in a way that links up or syncs up, I should say, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, you know, yeah, it can really take you places. And some of them are always so good, you know. So I can see where you would very much hope for it because it's one of the strongest things you can experience. It's so fucking intense. And then you would be afraid of it simultaneously. I understand. You know, because it's going to challenge you. The Lovers inherently challenges. It challenges our sense of choice specifically. How well do you know yourself exactly? That's what it does. The Lovers challenges our sense of choice. Oh, you think you know yourself, do you? Well, let me send you oath so-and-so here, and then we'll see how well you know yourself. And that's pretty much what it is. You will never learn so much as when you have a lover, but one of the hardest things you learn is if you get to keep them or not. And if you don't, what did you learn from them? You know, because it's still going to change you. So you seem to be open to changing. You seem to be open to fiddling around with your core sense of scorpionic self. I respect that. I really do. You say you got a good balance on things. You're saying you're pretty steady. You're saying that you're stable. You're pretty well to do. Maybe you need that influence in your life. Hopes and fears, by the way, is a guarantee of nothing. It is simply a reflection of exactly what I said, hopes and fears. It says a lot about who we are as people. So the fact that you hope for such a strong connection means that you are actually open to the challenge. But you're kind of afraid of it. Like, I've done pretty well. I've changed. I think I could be open to a strong connection. Then you probably are. I suppose you'll find out, because the Queen of Cups is in your outcome. Yeah, the fullness of heart, which is beautiful. Your natural state of grace energy, water. The softer heart, right? The loving heart, the intuitive self, the one that's open to receive, such as her stance is. Open to receive. You're open to receive, so I guess you're going to find out. Good luck. Good luck to us all. You know, and I get you. I do. I have faith in you, and I'll tell you why. You've done so much good, constructive work. You have been open to influence. You have been open to change by choice. You have chosen to enact on the skills of temperance. You have chosen the sun as your strengths. You've made a lot of good choices. Maybe you're ready for that challenge. Your heart's open. You're stable. You're showing flexibility of self. I've learned a lot about myself. I've added some things. I subtracted some things. I like my choices. Good. You look great. You really do. You look great, honey. You look absolutely great. Six of Wands. The Hermit and the Six of Swords. You've learned a lot. You've learned a lot from the idea of moving on from things. So I don't quite know where you're coming from in the past, but you've told me that you feel a lot more confident these days and a lot more wise and experienced because you've learned a lot about moving on principles, having to leave old shores behind to pursue new shores. You're saying it was those very experiences that led you into such a state of feeling better about you and how far you've come because you've had to make difficult choices before about leaving things behind. You're showing me a process. You're showing me a process, a long process that you've done well for and done well by. You know what it is to have to leave old shores that are secure, kind of, because you're familiar with them, to pursue other things in your life and what you've learned from it. Ace of Cups, and you're ready? You ready, Freddie? Go on then. Prove it. Go on then. That's our symbol. That's our thing. That's our jam right there. Oh, I think you're open to the challenge, honey. Let's do it. Let's get that lever. Let's do it. Let's open that heart. You've changed so much. I love it. You've changed so much. You're like, yeah, some shit went down, but I learned. But I've learned from it. You're like, I learned from it. Look at you. You're just all over this, ain't you? Look at that. All your energy's here. You're like, I've changed a lot. So no wonder you're not impatient. No wonder you're steady as you go. You really don't mind modifying along the way because you've learned so much already. You're saying the hardest parts of the things you've had to learn are already behind you. The destructive things, the blow-up things, the tower things, when you've had to leave things behind, people, places, situations, circumstances, whatever. You're saying because of those experiences, it really taught you how to redefine yourself and who you really are. Dang, Scorpio. Go on then. Go on then. Go get that lover, fall in love. Go on then. Oh. All right. A bit of luck. A touch of luck. The four-leaf clover. A touch of luck. Number 2. The wealthy man. Yeah, some of you might have done very well for yourselves. Some of you might have been blessed with a touch of luck. But you identify as the wealthy man or wealthy woman. I saw that comfort zone for you here. And some of you you admit you've been touched with a little bit of luck. And then also that's our power number there, 13. Some of you have been very resourceful. Very resourceful, very clever. Mature man, number 5. Oh, wow. Experience, yes. I see that. Strength. Okay, sorry, the accumulation of wealth over time for sure, but where did that come from? Strength of will, polar bear, mature man. Where did that come from? Distant horizon? Further out. Further out. Time. Divine timing. The intricacies of time can drive me absolutely crazy. That's why I don't really fuss around with the timelines anymore, because it drives me crazy. But here we have the cuckoo clock, that sense of divine timing, where on the outset, if you didn't actually construct this, you have no fucking idea how it works. You just trust that it does. All the counterparts and cogs and everything and the gears in play. It all serves a purpose and everything works exactly when it's supposed to. Just because it doesn't make sense to us doesn't mean that it wasn't designed to make sense in time. Right? There's a message here. It comes across time. There's something else here. There's someone else here. I'm sorry, I can't quite define it. I really can't. It's a little stretched out. There's a message that arrives at time when it's supposed to be time. Thanks. Strength, strong will, strength of will. I'm not sure how these two are related. Strength of will, mature men. I already kind of saw you, and it was consistent with your home environment. 5:15, mature man, the polar bear, strength of will. A little bit of stubbornness in here, but the experience and wisdom to kind of sit tight. It's a little further out on the ship, horizon. Distance. A message comes through in time when it's supposed to. Okay? Tricky, that. Very tricky. Oh, I hate it when stuff is eluding. It's right in front of me and it's eluding me. It's further out, though. Divine timing's at play. There's a message here from a strong-willed character, a stubborn character, an experienced character, someone who meets the qualifications of middle-aged or older, has a great deal of wisdom and or experience behind them, but also has the strength of will, kind of stubbornness of the polar bear. There is a message attached to this person, but it's further out, and it's in divine time. Great. Good job. This I know is you, okay? With that touch of luck and being resourceful and having built something for yourself. No, you said I got it. All is well there. Cool. Well, now, if I had more time, I tell you what. In the meantime, for others of you, congratulations once more on having changed so much and allowing that influence to come through. And I know it probably hurt at the time, but it did wonders for you. It did wonders for you. You learned so much. We only fail when we refuse to learn, and there's something here you refused to fail from. Refused to fail. Refused to fail. And it's that stubborn-ass Scorpio insistence. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to transform this. And you did. You did. You've done so well. Anything else in here? Okay. Full moon in Taurus, detoxify. Okay? That's always some good advice. Detoxify. All right. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. Maybe further out, closer to Taurus season. Let's call it April, May. That vague message I can't quite see. All right. We have letters R, T, E. We have the crescent moon in reverse. Okay. Interesting. Not by the light of the moon. Perhaps by new moon. Not all is yet revealed. Okay. Okay. But not by the light of the moon. Perhaps a new moon phase energy. But not by the light of the moon. I hope that helped you. Otherwise, excellent. Continue on being you. Continue to be open to love. And when it comes to that lover's connection, the hopes and fears, try to lean more into the hope than the fear, because that is still a form of manifestation. So just FYI. All right, Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please, for Pisces? What's going on? What's going on? Let's see, Pisces. Okay, what's going on? It's interesting. Queen of Swords, crossing the sun. Okay. Well, we could all do thinking about that from time to time, and I see why. All right, Five of Wands crowning in the past, Seven of Pentacles, exiting the Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords before you in future. I wouldn't. Okay. I'm just save it. Just save it. Okay. I know. Strength is three. I know. Three. I know. That's what I was going to say. I know you're trying to make this work, honey. I know. Environment, temperance. Yes, I agree. Okay. Two of Wands in the hopes and fears. Outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Continue on steady course. Please do. There's going to be times where you just have to continue to move forward in a direction, even if you're feeling uncertain, and there's no guarantees. Okay. But here's the thing. You opened up straight away with, I'm deeply contemplating something. You have something on your mind. And the direct source is happiness. You question it a great deal. The situation, circumstance, job, person, whatever, does it make me happy? Because you're getting mixed signals, honey. The reason I know it's mixed signals because if you're happy, the sun wouldn't feel like a challenge. So that means you can sometimes feel warmth, and there's times you can't. There's times where you can feel happy, and there's times you can't. And the Pisces I'm looking at, you acknowledge this, Queen of Swords. You're trying to understand it. You're trying to work through it. How come there's some days I feel happy, there's other days I don't? And you're going back and forth on this. The King, Queen of Swords, they do their job. Information, gimme. Okay? I'm trying to work this out. And we can't make decisions without a solid basis of information. So to your credit, you are trying to understand this for yourself. Why do you have, if you will, an inconsistent weather pattern right now? Sun, no sun. Happiness, no happiness. What's crowning you is Five of Wands. Well, I'll tell you why. One of the quickest answers you can get is because you're currently at odds with somebody over something. There's some arguing, there's some backbiting, there's some agenda pushing bullshit. And it is pretty fresh too. It looks like, because it's sitting on your mind, you're either doing a review of arguments that you've had recently with somebody, and it's fresh on your mind, or you've had a very, very current one. And it kind of left and it could be ongoing. Because, I mean, it's right there. It's in your crown. Okay? So you're doing a review of all your most recent greatest hits of arguments with somebody, or was one super fresh and it's got you thinking? The past Seven of Pentacles, you have a tendency to let things grow, and that's fine. Seven of Pentacles is in the past. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means that's how we've experienced something once. We can continue to do the same, or we can change things. But I can tell that you are comfortable letting things just kind of grow at their own pace. You don't like rushing. You like things to take their time. You like to make sure that you're given adequate amount of time. Okay. You don't like having your roots or your growth pushed. You don't mind steady pathways. You don't mind when things are consistent, kind of day in, day out. You kind of like it, actually. And that's fine. That's good. So you're showing me things have been off-grid then. Things are not growing in the direction for which you are accustomed, right? Because you're not big on changes. So when things are different, you notice them. That's the Pisces I'm looking at. Here's the thing. Eight of Cups is on the exit. You sense, and I if I thought that was you, I would tell you. And I'm not doing a yours and theirs right now. I'm not focusing on them. I'm not focusing on a they. I just know when it's outside of you. That's something that's outside of you. That's not always the case when I see the Eight of Cups in the exit position. But this time for you, I feel like it's his. I feel like that is someone who is emotionally detaching from you, and it stresses you out. You also can't help but rightfully suspect that's the biggest source of arguments. Is someone here is being numb, indifferent, or frankly, they keep walking when things get real. And so you never have any real resolve with them. It's like, I'd rather not emotionally invest in a fight with you, so they turn their back on it, instead of staying in there long enough feeling uncomfortable in order to resolve differences. Regardless, I don't feel like it's you. If it was you, I'd tell you. To me, I see you critically involved in the idea of what it is to be happy. That means you have to be aware to some extent that you're emotionally invested. And you just, for your part, you want to know what it's all about. Where is it coming from? You're aware things have been tense and it's outside the norm. So I can't help but feel that it's someone who, when it's convenient for them, they check out. But, they numb or they shut down. And it stresses you out. Nine of Swords. It's not better in the future. No. It makes you more anxious the more emotionally distant this person gets. So it feels like we haven't had good days in a while, Three of Pentacles in your strengths. Am I surprised by that? Absolutely not. No, that comes up often. Three of Cups or Three of Pentacles for Pisces is very, very normal in terms of strengths or your regulatory practices, if you will, against your sign. You would rather harmonize than separate, even if it's in the most simplest and friendly of ways. This is a Piscean superpower. I always call you guys like the referees of the zodiac. You prefer to referee, All right, let's bring this down. Let's work together. Let's figure this out. Hold on. Running interception. When things get a little tumultuous or, difficult, there's Pisces trying to mend the fence, So the Three of Pentacles being in your strength, that doesn't surprise me. You would rather show some level of cooperation than nothing at all right? Some sort of friendliness as opposed to nothingness. That's very much you. That doesn't mean it always works, and we need to know this. We need to accept this, that despite our best intentions or our superpowers, sometimes it doesn't always go that way. All right? Now, Temperance is there for you in your environment, which, again, beautiful. You're showing me I am really consolidating my feelings, which, again, once more, makes me think this Eight of Cups isn't you. Okay? In order to trigger Temperance, you have to be emotionally anchored. You have to. You cannot evoke compassion, patience, and healing unless you are emotionally aware of something, a situation, or another person. You just can't. You just can't. So again, I feel like that's someone else who won't stay present with you when things get hard or difficult. They won't stand up and fight, or they won't get to the point, or it's like, I'm not going to get invested in another argument, when in fact it's just causing or deepening the issue. By avoiding the argument, we're actually creating it. So I know you want the bigger picture work done. I know you do. And so you're evoking Temperance, which is beautiful. Make sure that you show Temperance to yourself first and foremost, patience for yourself first, and you consolidating your difficult emotions for yourself first, which is how you more or less opened up. Okay? Good. First and foremost for you. Always. Everything begins with the self. If you can't use Temperance for you first, you can't use it with someone else. Okay? If you don't know how to be kind and cooperative with yourself first, you can't do it with someone else. So I see you doing all the right things. Okay? I see someone failing to join you in that space. Maybe it's a temporary walk. I don't know that it's full-time. Okay? But you need to continue on with your goals, with or without their presence, with or without their assistance. You're doing all the right things, like I said. Okay? Someone who refuses to move on, or you think you need the other person's permission, you would have shown me that, and then I would have seen you break from your process and make no progress. All right. Two of Wands is in your hopes and fears. You hope that they open back up to you. You hope that they talk to you. You're kind of afraid that they will, though. Makes me think maybe you don't want... Again, hopes and fears is a guarantee of nothing, by the way. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a reflection of our inner selves. So part of you hopes that they'll open up. Part of you hopes you'll make better decisions for yourself. Part of you hopes that they'll make a good decision. But a part of you is afraid that they will. Maybe you kind of want to keep moving forward in your own direction, with or without them. I don't know who this is to you. I don't have a fucking clue. This could be someone that you started a business with. I have no idea. All I know is that every time I see you march forward, no matter how slightly or slowly in another direction, you feel a little better. Someone who perpetually or chronically absents themselves from difficult issues, avoidance stuff, it becomes exhausting, and then you realize they're not reliable. It's ironic. The avoidance person wants to avoid conflict. Therefore, they always keep themselves distant from it, which means we end up breaking from them because they know they can't hang out in the real zone. So while they desperately desire real, they always keep themselves separate from it too. You know? And the Knight of Pentacles in your outcome, I see you continuing to move forward, like I said, steadily and slowly. And every time you do, you like that you're moving in that direction. And you can only think so much on someone else's behalf about what their problem is. I understand what makes me happy, and I understand when I feel it, but they don't ever seem to be. And then we're always arguing. And then they fuck off. There's distance here. And I'm always here to figure it out. And I'm stressing out about someone who can't even do a 3 of Pentacles with me. That's fair. All right. I'm going to get you some advice. I don't think you need it. I think you're doing all the right things. Whatever this is, bare minimum, let's just say it for what it is. You getting space from it, it's not just for them at this point, it's for you. When somebody says they need space, it's either because they A, actually mean it, or B, they don't, and they just need an excuse or a reason to start exiting or quit. You actually need it. But it's with this person absenting themselves that you realize how it's benefiting you. Okay. So that kind of tells me this is a nonsensical argument or a circle relationship you have with somebody. And once you exit the circle or you take a step outside of it, things start to feel a little different, don't they? It's like you're actually making progress. Right? All right. Let's get some advice, please. Other than that, honey, I say you're in great shape. You have all the great skills to see to yourself. You really do. You have some good abilities attached to you, so I want you to keep moving forward in that, yeah? You have other goals in you besides this. You have other things that make you happy in here besides this, so don't forget that. Don't lose sight of that. And this is unfortunate, but this is some good old advice. If someone wants to work things out with you, stay there in the moment, despite how uncomfortable it gets. They will. Because it's important. And people who don't recognize what's important, they end up walking or self-sabotaging in some way, or they don't speak up for themselves, which again is a form of self-sabotage. So, okay, if it's important to them, they'll figure it out. You got to figure out what's important to you and continue to move forward. Okay, let's get some advice, please. Knight of Wands, Death, Page of Cups. Yeah, at least for now, you have run out of energy for this. That's why, thank you for not chasing. I'm glad. I'm really good. I don't know what this is. Again, friendship, your bro, your girl, I don't know. I don't care. A family member, you have run out of energy for this. Don't pursue it. Yeah, I agree. Don't get me wrong. You still have a little bit of heart space for them, but you don't have the energy for this. Yeah, no. Use that for you first and foremost. Oh. Well, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Where'd that come from? What are you up to? Oh, you don't know yet, do you? Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, the Lovers. I mean, well, hey, since you're marching forward with your life, you know. Happy holidays? Happy New Year? Happy something. Hello, where'd you come from? Ding dong. Who's at the door? The Empress and the Lover, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm guessing that's a little further out as you continue on making progress for you. I mean, someone don't want to participate. Okay, fine. I don't know what that is. You didn't show me definitely what it is. You just hope to get along with it, bare minimum, and they couldn't even do that. Anyway, that's nice. Yes, this is nice. We like this. Yeah. This is someone who knows their worth. That's someone who would stand their ground because they know what their worth is in connection to you as a lover. I'm just saying. Ace of Pentacles, that looks like a very smart investment. That's what's up. Productive, loving. Ooh, that's a sensual one right there too. It's rolling off that one. That one's very sensual. Oh, that one's just dripping with sensuality. Everything from what they wear to how they talk. Oh my goodness. Oh, now. You up for that? Oh, I would love some context around that one. Oh, after moving away from this. No, what's this about? Okay. Seven of Swords, King of Cups. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know, we have a lesson here about avoiding feelings in the heart. And you know, we can't make people emotionally invest if they don't want to, or stick around from the heart. If it's not there, we wouldn't want to force them either. They do have a responsibility to recognize that, but they're not required to share it with us. Okay. Sorry, I was going back to this. I was, I was thinking about, okay, that Knight of Pentacles journey continues on, picks up over here somewhere. But also, when you lean away from this as well, your heart will be glad that it did. You know? Oh, I suppose we have to trust timing on that one. A little further out. This one's a process, yeah? And you even showed me you're the person who likes to take your time. You don't like being rushed. You like to develop your roots. You like to know what you're getting into. And I suppose what you're getting out of. Okay. The pathway, message of concern, bad health. There's somebody walk with very little explanation except some vague sort of references to not feeling well. Okay. It's looking like they were always going to do this, maybe. Despair. It was kind of what you were fearing, but perhaps you had experience with them before. Whenever they feel challenged mentally or emotionally, spiritually, they leave. They have a history of doing this, checking out the sun and question the happiness, etc. Okay. All right. There is a sense here that there is an ending. There is an ending here. We didn't want to say it, right? We didn't want to say it. But it's kind of like they're doing this again, or they're walking again, or they're avoiding me again. We had that feeling. Someone has a chronic issue with this. And, or assuming the worst, or just not being available when the other person needs them, constantly checking out when things get real. Okay? Always insisting they need a break, or they need a vacation, or they just need to go somewhere else, instead of stay there in the moment when things get hard. Okay, I understand. This was an ending phase for someone. They meet the characteristics of a middle-aged woman, possibly older, and someone who's constantly complaining of minor ailments. I don't quite know. Okay. Anyway, I was hoping to get more on that, but again, once more, that's a little further out. I just know when it's boom, it's there when it's there. Wow. That's so strong. I mean, the Empress represents the spring and all the beauty that it beholds. So for some of you, we might be looking at March. I don't quite know. Okay. Oh boy, we have lots here. We have P, F, J, U. They may or may not mean anything to you. We have the medallions of Taurus, Aquarius, Libra, and Aries. Two keywords here being charming as well as courageous. You might have any of these strong placements in your chart, could be connecting, and their seasons might be of some importance. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Tree of Life, the roots that touch many, many things. Many of you are proud of the connectivity that you have built over the years, your own sense of stability, right? And then the palm hand. Some of you are deeply religious, or you have very strong spiritual practices or very strong beliefs that you stand by. Okay, Pisces, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. I really like your trajectory. I'm sure it wasn't easy at the time, and it's still not going to be, but I like how you're saying it's my responsibility to still move forward. I agree. It is. You've done very well for yourself in that respect. Good job for embracing the truth there. All right. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please, for that Cancerian? Collective, show me Cancer. Show me Cancer. Show me Cancer. What's up? One more. I think one more. I feel one more. Let's take a look at Cancer. What's up? What's going on? What's up? The Knight of Wands. The Hermit's challenging. Oh! Ten of Pentacles crowning. I see. That's funny. That's nice. That's a nice surprise for you. The Four Cups in the past. You are feeling better. Good. Exiting. Six of Wands. That's cool too. Let's scoot over. Let's scoot. Scooty scoot. There we go. Before you, the world. Oh my. Strengths. Queen of Swords. Environment. Justice. Six of Cups and the hopes and fears, the outcome, Eight of Pentacles. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You have such an energy spike right now, and it hit me. It hit my funny bone because it was just like Cancer just went, poof, right? This is great. And the Hermit's having a hard time keeping up with you. So the Hermit is challenging you. Don't get me wrong, the Hermit has a beautiful properties attached to him. But the con, as you're experiencing it, because all cards, all energies, all people, all signs have pros and cons. His biggest con is time. In order to invest in that level of healing, you really have to consolidate yourself to the sense of wisdom, reflection, experience, insight. And this can take a long time, but it's some of the best forms of healing you could have for that reason. But his biggest con is that he's kind of a time consumer, that guy is, right? And right now he's like, I don't want your fire pony bullshit right now. Can we tune it down, Cancer? I want to hermit. I want to do my job. I want to be quiet. I want to be cozy. I want to learn. I want to reflect. And your Knight of Wands is like, no. And you're like, I want to have fun. Can we have some fun, please? I want some energy. I need to express myself. Okay. I need adventures. I need fun times. I need happiness. I need passion. I'm tired of this hermiting bullshit, but which is funny because that tells me where you're coming from more often than not, especially since the Ten of Pentacles is at your crown. So it's not like you're some fly by the seat of your pants Cancer. On the contrary, you are very grounded. You are very practical. You have a very strong foundation. It's with you all the time. Your sense of responsibility is attached to you like 24/7. And it's almost like you're saying, can I just feel good? I'm responsible all the time. I take care of my business. I'm grounded. I'm founded. I've done my time in the Pentacles. Can I just have some free time, please? I think that's all you're showing me is that you're amped up for your free time. And your Hermit's like, relax, relax, relax. Just not so fast, not so much, Cancer. You know how it is? Like, I don't know. Okay, yours truly. All right, Brazilian steakhouse. We love this. But we have to fast. We have to fast, right? For me personally, whenever I experience a Brazilian steakhouse and it's a plan, it's like a plan in my head, and I have to fast. Otherwise, there's no point in going. You need to have an appetite, honey, for the Brazilian steakhouse. So if you go in there having just had a snack or a full breakfast, you just screwed your whole experience. Right? Especially if you're not in your 20s anymore and you can't just burn your calories or your metabolism's just not that available to you anymore. So you got to go in there with the plan. And so what you're showing me then is that you want to get in there, right? You want to get into that steakhouse and consume. And your hermit's like, hey, pull it back. You're going to make yourself sick. It's too much at one time. But you're so amped up. I'm a big food person, so I use food as an analogy. Even if it doesn't fit very well, I still use it. The point is, the hermit's like, slow down. Experience has taught you too much, too fast, you make yourself sick. And you're like, no, and you're doing it anyway. So I think you're showing me that you're due for some free time. You're due for some lighter energy. You pride yourself on being responsible, and it's not to slight your Ten of Pentacles. Again, once more, it's not just your personal home and finances. It's everything you're connected to. So that's your job, your career, your family, your community, your network, your resources. You carry that with you all the time. You're like, I deserve some lighter energy. Thank you. And I can see why. Four of Cups is in the past. It's not that far back, guys. The thing about the past position is that doesn't mean it's over. That just means you experienced it, and you might still do. You don't want to, okay? You want some lighter times. You're just coming out of this kind of funk, maybe some depression, maybe some sadness, maybe something just upset you. And now your energy's turned around, and you want to experience some lightness, and you're not used to it. You've been weighed down. I think you deserve some free time. I want you to have it, take it. Just don't go crazy with it. Let your hermit occasionally pipe up and say some things and pull it back a little bit, Cancer, and you'll be fine. Just don't go crazy. You'll be fine. Six of Wands is on the exit. There's something here. There's a sense of ego that's out. There is a sense of maybe some confidence that's exiting from your life. I don't know about that. I don't know what that is. But it's something that you used to celebrate is exiting. It doesn't make you feel good anymore. It doesn't make you feel confident anymore. It doesn't make you feel jubilant anymore or seen or recognized. That's exiting from your life. I'm thinking that's the source of your unhappiness. There's something here for which you can no longer celebrate or take credit for. And ego is not necessarily a bad thing. Like all things, like all energy, it depends on what we do with it. We need ego to survive. So there's good ego and there's bad ego. And something here that used to be a source not too long ago that made you unhappy, you no longer feel tied to it. You no longer feel associated to it in some way. Okay, so that's gone. So you're just in that place now where you're starting to feel better about you. And I want you to take those moments to celebrate, have some fun, lighten up, okay? Whatever it is that made you sad in the past, it doesn't have to be with you all the time. I want you to celebrate those little moments. They will add up, I promise. The world is before you in future. Whatever this is that's exiting is finalizing soon, very soon. Perhaps that's why you're feeling a little extra giddy. Perhaps that's why you're feeling a little more free these days. This thing is coming to a close, and it once brought you sadness, and now you see the joy in it. And I think that's fucking phenomenal. So we have to understand the world. The world, by the way, is one of my favorite cards for strengths, always, because it assumes the pros and the cons. That's why it's one of the best ones to have in strength, because it assumes the con. Doors closed, sadness. Doors open. Pros. That's before you in future. So you might be celebrating. You might feel weirdly giddy, maybe even a little high. Compared to where I think you deserve it. I do. Maybe you have a different celebration. Maybe you don't celebrate this thing that makes you unhappy anymore. You don't feel attached to it anymore, or it hasn't given you confidence, whatever. Okay, fine. Maybe we can celebrate that closing and celebrate something opening for you. Okay, but that's before you in future. It doesn't seem to freak you out. You knew it was coming. You've had your moments already in time where you felt sad about it. Okay, so as we close that door out, let's open another one, yeah? Queen of Swords is in your strengths. That is a good strength. King, Queen of Swords, they're actually two of my favorite people in tarot. Honestly, they get such a shitty reputation, and I get why. You get the coldness sometimes, you get the shutdownness, but they also have a job to do. They're informatic. This is what they do. I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening, and based on what I'm hearing, I'm going to make sound, informed decisions. It's a great strength to have. A little bit of intelligence go a long way. So you're a thinker, honey. You're a thinker. That's good. That's a good strength. I want you to sell it. Con? There's always a con. Can you overthink? Absolutely. Can you overanalyze? Oh, you bet. But for the most part, it's a strength. Okay? So be aware of that. You know the logical course of this. You've seen it for yourself. It stands to reason. This needs to be cycled out, and you've already begun to see the prospects of feeling better for it. That's part of your reasoning skills over here. In other words, what's happening here? While it wasn't fun, maybe it's a good thing. Justice is in your environment. Oh, yeah. I bet you're starting to feel a lot better about your environment. Something's feeling a lot more balanced, isn't it? Spiritually, technically, legally, any of those things, all of those things. But you're starting to feel more balanced in your environment. Again, that's how I know this world is a good thing for you. When people start showing me correctness over difficult issues, that's how I know it was correct. And it's cycling. Okay? You created justice for yourself. You balanced a difficult situation, and it's reflecting in your environment. It will start to stabilize sooner rather than later, or frankly, you'll feel a lot more comfortable in your environment soon. Correct. Correct is the key word. 6 of Cups and your hopes and fears. Now that's interesting. What is Scorpio? God, that was like already an hour ago. You think I'd remember, but no. I try to wipe in between readings. Scorpio did show me the Lovers and the 6 of Cups. Almost similar. Very similar. Close enough. In that respect, that it is a unique connection. It may not be the strong one of the Lovers, but there is a unique connection here that affects you in the hopes and fears category, which, again, is a guarantee of nothing. It is simply a reflection of what we're like on the inside about our hopes and our fears. There is a unique connection, one that is nostalgic in nature, one that you are attached to via memories. You hope for it. You do. You do hope for it in some way as yours. You're also afraid of it a little bit. You would know why. But you hope for it in some way in your heart. For the connection to continue to be there for you, to show up for you one day, I don't know. Maybe one day you can lean into it. Perhaps one day you can reconnect to it. You're afraid to reconnect to it. I said it's one and the same. I just know that it means something to you. And it does represent sweet memories or nostalgia of the past, but with that can come pain. Yes. But there's a connection here that you are sweetly attached to. You have memories with it. You've exchanged many a cup with them. Again, there's that unique undercurrent. And then your outcome is 8 of Pentacles. You're showing me lots of balance, correctness, working, workflow, productivity. Things are going to get a lot smoother for you, I promise. So go on then. You enjoy your Knight of Wands. You go ahead and be the little fire pony, as Mike would say. You go on then. You've earned it. Things are going to smooth out. You're going to get back to where you need to be in terms of feeling correct, balanced. I promise. Whatever that cycle is, whatever the hell it represents, I don't presume to know. I do know that once upon a time it made you unhappy because you were not on the same page with somebody. But you hadn't been able to feel confident about it in a long time either. Or proud to be with it or seen with it. That's very interesting. But it also no longer represents a source of pride either. That's on its way out. All that's in there. All of it. So that means you can possibly allow new pride into your life. A new sense of emotional attachment. A new sense of being on the same page with somebody. Something like this. Your work seems fine. Your environment is going to start feeling really good soon. It's like, oh, God, I feel so correct. Oh, that's such a good feeling. All right. Let's get some advice, please. The Chariot, that's you, baby. And the Emperor, woohoo! Oh, look at the smarty pants on you. Look at that. I thank you. I enjoy standing in my power. Yeah, you do. And look at you. You look so good. Yes, continue to stand in your power. Continue to move it forward. As I say all the time about this channel, this train don't make stops, baby. So this Chariot, this Cancer, don't make stops. You continue to move forward. I want you to go out there. You have yourself a little fun, honey. It looks like you've earned it. It's not going to take over your life. You know, it's not going to cause major cracks in your foundation. No, that's with you all the time. You can put that down a little bit. Even your hermit's like, okay, Okay, you. But yeah, you go on then. Look at that. You're empowered, you're bold, you're bright, you're beautiful. You keep moving forward in that beautiful chariot of yours, completely consolidated. I'm so happy to see that for you. I really am. I love it when people show me consolidation of the self. That is gorgeous. 8 of Cups is then reversed. You walk, they walk, somebody walk. If they had been there in a long time at all. I honestly don't know. Okay? I know. The Empress, someone who used to enjoy that VIP status. So the Emperor and Empress, we give them a certain level of credibility. Okay? Their opinion means a lot to us. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't have that status. Whomever that is, we walked from them. They walked from us. The Emperor and Empress looks like they had a parting of ways. That does happen. Okay? But the fact that you said you can no longer take pride in this, you no longer want to see yourself attached to it, and it's been making you unhappy, that neither one of you have been on the same page. Someone's been desiring of a new heart. Kind of says a lot. Page of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. A lack of appreciation. There was a core issue here about a lack of appreciation. The insight was too small for what was being done with the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. I don't want to go too far into it because the Cancer I'm looking at, you know these things already. You look forward to moving on in your life and in your endeavors and into a very strong, beautiful heart space. I'm a little curious about that 6 of Cups, though. I don't know. What's someone who's grounded, someone who appreciates homestead energy, function, form, function, productivity, someone who has a little bit more on the TLC side, tender love and care qualities, nurturing, and above all, understands their sense of self-worth. This is someone who would not fail to appreciate work endeavors and balances and things like that. Okay? This is someone who gets that. Okay? Very lovely. But also has very feminine, that energy is, particularly at home. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, someone who has a beautiful, soft, loving heart, but also knows how to give and is very protective of their environment. I understand. I'm like that too. Someone who is very protective of their environment and loves it fiercely. Okay. I need an impression of that 6 of Cups, the person we kind of hope and fear for. So that's a little bit more on their personality. They could be a water-earth combo, or someone who has very strong traits in one or the other, and they just show a lot of the other. I don't know. But that's beautiful. Those two, when together, work beautifully together. The Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. That's a lot of personality in there. It's very loving, very loving. Strong maternal instinct in there. Okay. I just wanted to poke a little bit. Okay? It hasn't even come up yet. You got to stabilize first. Which won't be an issue. It won't be an issue. You already are, honey. You're just letting your hair down. You're just letting your hair down, and I don't blame you. I really don't. There's a great fortune in here somewhere. Again, that strong sense of ownership. This is what I've done. Connectivity, resources, a wealth of activity. Congratulations to you all who've worked so hard for those foundations. Your thoughts on that? We think about this. Oh, worth, fortune, the thoughts. We think about self-worth a lot, and what our partner should look like, and in terms of worth, are they a reflection of our worth? Occupations in the reverse. Oh. Okay. I think I see what you're thinking. That failure to appreciate even the most basics. Insightful. Someone here who does not work, does not consider the fortune that's attached. The wealth of activity being generated, somebody's time, energy, and effort, their labors. Someone who does not work fails to appreciate these things, and therefore is kind of losing their Empress status for that reason. An Empress should never fail to appreciate that. An Empress should always respect the idea of productivity. That's what she is. The life force, the life bringer. You must produce in order to do these things. Someone here failed to live up to their status as Empress. They themselves don't work. And failed to appreciate, I think, what the other person was doing. Okay, I don't want to keep digging. I don't want to keep digging. I want you to keep eyes forward as you continue to correct your life path and stay on with what works, but don't forget to celebrate, okay? All right. The fact that you've made so much progress tells me that you were ready for this and that you were somewhere in the process of finalization since the world is right. To me, that is literally world's end. Like, this is finalized by year's end. We're talking now to January. Okay? Full moon in Pisces, forgive. You had to learn to forgive this situation, yourself. Full moon in Leo, go wild. Go on then, honey. You have a drink. You go on then. You have a fun night, okay? Just don't do anything too crazy. Don't forget to Uber, all right? Yeah, I know. You forgive the situation, because you have other things to look forward to. And I think that might be the forgiveness, why that made the forgiveness process easier, is because you know you have other things to look forward to and participate in, and to keep what works and to go towards what could work for you. But it ain't this. Okay. Go on. You're funny. All right. We have D, P, V, J. These letters may or may not mean anything to you. And then you will also have the dog tag, a military reference for the dog tag with the keyword here being protected. You are protected in what you're doing. Okay. All right, Cancer, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.